to host a video. It's amazing. This week has been so crazy.
Hello. Yes.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Smudcast number 736. Fan service in anime is going too far. Geez, when's the last decade we've heard this argument? So, as with any content in any story, it's how it's done and how often it is done to cause an average viewer of a certain quality level to say, oh, I don't like it. Oh, it's too much. It's not done right. So in order to have an official, proper argument about the topic, they have to point to specific scenes in specific anime and tell us why it's too much. And that's it. That's all they got to do. They say, I don't like this because it happens too much and there's not enough substance, or it's done in a way that I'm not comfortable with. That's all it is. So with that comes genre and comparisons to genre. So you have to have an apples to apples comparison. Let's say Neon Genesis does it. Okay, why is it too much or not done well? Compare it to like something, High School DxD. Like half the show is just ecchi stuff. So it's like, all right, you're expecting that to happen anyway. And that's fine. You don't have to like it. But if you're watching the show and you're appreciating the show, you have to then say, oh, this is what half the show is about anyway.
Wasn't that a horror comedy?
High School DxD?
Zombie horror comedy?
I don't think it was zombies.
No, that was High School of the Dead.
That was High School of the Dead. Yeah, that was that's a
was
parody.
Amazing.
That was, I mean, once you start having bullet physics with breast physics, my brain just goes, what the fuck is going on?
That was amazing.
Oh,
it also was faster than the speed of light, or at least too much friction. Somebody did the math on that.
I don't know. You got a what is it? A 50 cal bullet traveling between boobs. I'm like, okay, this is too much for my brain. I can't take this.
It's amazing. But yeah, some anime manages to pull off doing horror comedy in a way with action that it is silly, but it also has tough, grounded, emotional moments that are believable.
Well, in that case, because of that anime is about zombies and the world changing, you're allowed to break a lot of the societal norms, like a bunch of girls are interested in one guy because he's saving their lives in a zombie apocalypse. So they're going to have like a harem scenario. So it's like, oh, that's a natural way for people to survive in this sort of world. So
isn't that great? That
you
have an excuse for your bullshit,
for your silly harem fantasies with guns and boobs, like the giant, like the whole thing about the teacher who's completely worthless, and she's this tall, gorgeous, curvy woman, like obscenely curvy woman, and she does nothing. Like she's absolutely excess, like trash. It's like, why are you here? Just to be titillation, but she's barely used in the plot, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't bother me, but. This is what you can get away with you have enough examples of a plot or a reasoning behind why things exist, and the story goes along just fine. And that's what I hope from this guy. That's what I hope for him to explain. Like, oh, this scene doesn't have a good reason to happen. It's stupid. It's bad. Not because it has titillation, but because the scene itself is empty in a story where it shouldn't be empty. That's what I'm looking for from this guy in general. We don't know yet.
He made a Gatekeeping is Good video.
Interesting. It sounds like he's up our alley then.
Maybe.
Is anime racist? That's silly. What else we got here? Emojis be wild. The most schizo subreddit. Who cares? Oversharing on the internet. What is it? Whatever that is.
Oversharing? What?
Yeah, I don't know. The worst channels on YouTube. Okay, well that's silly. Yeah, okay, he's got a lot of content that's different, but yeah, a few anime ones, that's fine. So the decades, I say decades because I remember hearing this argument back in the 90s. This is nothing new. To each their own. Everyone has their own limits on any kind of content. Could be violence, could be sex, could be R-rated content, so not nudity, but implying sexual behaviors.
Could be violence in video games. We've heard that tired argument as well.
Oh yeah, it's anything where your thresholds are going too far, and that could be religious reasons. That could be your whole. The new thing is everyone's holier than thou. So there shouldn't be boobs. There shouldn't be any female form expression that's animated for...
Oh no, it's portraying the ideological thing I like negatively. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to say, oh, this female character is unrealistically a supermodel in an animated cartoon, which is already unrealistic. Okay, fine, you can make the argument. But that's kind of one of the reasons why people watch shows like The Witcher on Netflix, because Henry Cavill's on it. He's a gorgeous man, and he acts really well. So it doesn't really matter what the story of The Witcher or the setting or the...
Like the women in that show.
They're
not gorgeous.
There's a few attractive ones.
Yeah, but the ones that are described as otherworldly pretty, they deliberately cast not that.
Good point. Yeah, there's a lot of women in the Witcher Netflix series that you have a range of attractiveness and unattractiveness. That's true. So anyway, let's go. This is 13 minutes and a half. I don't know why you need so much time to discuss that unless there's specific scenes in specific genres. He's comparing apples to apples. We go, okay, he's got a point. He has a referential argument. He's got examples we can look at and say, yep, that's too much, or that's too little, or it happens too often. So frequency and style, how it's done. That's what I'm looking for from this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can respect him. Here we go.
Fanservice in anime has become a pretty heavy topic. Fanservice can be two characters fighting that people have always wanted to see fight, or it can be two other things kind of in your way. And in this video, we will be talking about the latter.
Okay, so he's pretty much saying breasts. Breasts is fanservice.
My thing didn't start.
Oh.
Let me see.
Fanservice in anime has become a pretty heavy debated topic. Fanservice can be two characters fighting that people have always wanted to see fight, or it can be two other things kind of in your way. And in this video, we'll...
is it running on your end, or
yep.
am I disconnected from your watch together?
Yeah, I'm good too.
Yeah, 15 seconds in.
Okay, then it works again on my end.
Right.
The fan service that usually makes people uncomfortable. You know, the fan service that you don't want your parents to walk in on you watch.
Okay, number one. If boobs make you uncomfortable, Ginga, I get echo from you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So if boobs make you uncomfortable, grow up.
Well,
and I was gonna say there's something wrong with your head.
Yeah.
These are pretty normal stuff in young adult anime to show cleavage, to show sexual scenarios which are comedic in nature, and to have there's all kinds of tropes we've gone through with the shower scenes and panty scenes and upskirt scenes, like all these things at school scenarios that we've seen. So if you're offended at this point, you either haven't watched enough anime or it's just not for you.
I think right now he's just talking about embarrassment, but mistaking that for something else. Because being embarrassed about the natural aspects of sexuality, that is also natural because you're growing into that completely new aspect of your life and being. And that it is also why usually people do cover up.
Yeah, this is not some unheard of scenario. This happens in every culture, every walk of life, usually younger, of course, because that's when it first happens to you, where your pants get thrown around your ankles, a person gets picked up and their dress gets thrown over their ass, and their panties or undergarments are displayed. This is normal stuff, happens all the time. And if you're not used to that, there's something wrong.
Yeah, and if you're afraid of your parents walking in when you play or watch something weird, well, why can't you explain that? Two, why do your parents let you watch stuff that's not age appropriate or play? Like if you're under 18, why are you playing GTA?
Yeah, this is the same argument with any kind of content, whether a video game that's for, I would say, 17 and up, and kids are buying it. I remember when I was selling video games, I was working back in the day at a video game retailer. Parents would buy the game for the kid wouldn't like it, they would return it, and I'm like, listen, like I told you this game was not for kids, you bought it for your kid, and the next day you return it. Like, whose fault is that? Like, I'm not gonna take this game back just because you bought it yesterday. I warned you. The label says, like, this was Duke Nukem pretty much, So he had like
That's the nice version, at least. The other one is usually what more often happened is mother or grandmother buys video game for kid. It has the big 18 plus sticker on it, or even the 16 or 12 up, and it's for an 8-year-old because 8-year-old really wants it. Blindly buys the thing, doesn't even look at the cover, doesn't look at the backside, doesn't look at anything. And once the kid then plays the game and the mother or grandmother sees the game, then it's how horrible! How was this sold to me? We warned you.
Yeah. So
and then they want the politicians to censor games and prevent adults from buying these things because they are too stupid to buy proper things for their children. It's like as if these mothers and grandmothers, it's usually women, strangely enough, would go into one of these old VHS and DVD rental places, go to the 18 plus section, rent some porno, and give it to their 8-year-old. That's the equivalent of doing this, and it's just. And then they cry for the government to censor everything.
It's strange, but again, he has to give us examples because this is such a broad sentence in his video title. Usually it's about, okay, high school DxD is ecchi trash. You're like, okay, fair enough. Why is it bad? There's so much titillation, there's so much cleavage, there's so much panic, there's so much implied sex. It's like, okay, you're right, but what's bad about that? Because that's what you signed up for.
And look, if you're chat is right. It's what is it? Tudor Murisan. It's a special S. I don't know how that works. Yeah, if you are stuck on this, what if my parents walk in and see what I watch? You're not ready for this content, number one. Secondly, why the hell do you watch it then when your parents are at home? Why do you have your screen turned towards the door? Like, look, I was a teenager too, okay?
Yeah, this is.
I knew what to do. Apparently, you are all really, really dumb when it comes to how to deal with your parents.
This is no longer a content issue. It seems more like a maturity issue that the person who's watching this is too immature to appreciate and understand that you're watching something you probably shouldn't, or that you are so embarrassed that if someone walks in the door and they see a scenario on TV, it's like, oh well, I like the thing, but not really. No. I didn't really mean to watch it. It's like, okay, why should that bother you if you're watching a thing that you're like? It's a strange behavior of I'm not mature enough to watch the thing that I want to watch, and I don't want anyone to know.
And if you annoy your parents so much or fear that they walk in, why do you watch the stuff with the squeaky anime voices on your bullshit PC speakers? Where they can hear throughout the house what you're watching.
Yeah, well.
And when you just listen to it, a lot more scenes than the actual ecchi or fan service scenes or actual hentai scenes do sound like it's a hentai scene because they make the same squeaky noises. That is already part of a joke. It's an audio joke.
Yeah, I'm reminded of stuff that seems out of place, but because it's like Hideo Kojima and they have like the ending fight scene in Metal Gear Solid 3 with the boss and she unzips her top to show her completely unbelievable pregnancy scars, and you're just like, wait a second, that's not where you cut.
That's a cesarean.
Yeah, it's like way above her belly, and you're like, that's not where you would open up a woman to.
It's also more like heart surgery.
It was pretty much closer to the lungs than it was to the lower pelvis. So it's like, okay, Kojima, that's weird. And then it has the crazy
experimental procedure.
And then it has the magical. When she dies, it has the magical snake, which is shaped like, or basically a scar that's shaped like a snake and starts moving like a snake around her body and is removed from her body magically. You're like, okay, I get what he's doing here. It's not supposed to be taken seriously. And then the whole flowers around her change color. Like all that stuff is all artistic. And you go, oh, that's why he's doing it. Not because he wants to show off her cleavage and her tummy. he's showing this beautiful scene of tragedy and the idea of a woman who's losing her life and sees you as her son and all this jazz. So it's not just titillation. There's something more going on, even though it looks ridiculous. But if you take it literally, it will make you go, huh? So that is where I'm always appreciative of Kojima doing these dramatic scenes for the purpose of artistic merit, even though taken literally they mean absolutely nothing. So anyway, that's probably not what he's going to get into in this video.
Yeah. Last point on that. You all of you generation who's like teenagers right now, you all are streaming. You have expensive microphones at home. You have headphones. Use the damn headphones.
All right.
And figure out what line of sight is. Like, seriously.
Get a laptop and then go to your bed and then just plug it into the wall and you'll be fine. There you go.
Yeah, when I was at my grandma's place that had the Super Nintendo and the N64, there was all nice games. She could walk in at any time. And she did. She enjoyed watching those games. She loved watching the Zelda games. She loved watching Secret of Mana. It was great. When I go home, I play different games. No, there's a time and a place. And you people are apparently too dumb. You would probably sit down in the kitchen with a Playboy and then complain that your mother's walking in.
Well,
come on.
We'll find out. Let's see what this guy has to say.
Story, right? So I have indulged pretty heavily into anime ever since the age of like 14. It is slow.
So how old are you now? Like 20? Like that's nothing. I've been watching anime since the 80s. Like what do you
He sounds like 20.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that old.
Since I've gotten into my early 20s, I mean, I'm
okay.
on Titan, and really, I don't even know what else
waste.
animes I watch, but...
You watched Attack on Titan and you want me to respect you, sir?
And you don't know what else you watched? Oh my god.
He's watched anime for 7 years. Oh my god.
This is not a man of culture?
I don't know, but if you're trying... I've been watching since I was 14. I was like, that means nothing to me. I'm now in my early 20s, so you're 21 or 22, so that's, 6, 7, 8 years. Maybe I'll take you seriously after 30 years, 40 years in my case. Then we could have a conversation about who's watched a lot of anime.
I started back in the Toonami days when I was 5.
Yeah. I remember watching...
And I'm 28 right now, so...
I remember watching Grandizer and all these other shows in the 80s when they first came on. So...
I remember watching the reruns.
Yeah, no, there's all kinds of great 80s flicks that I didn't even know were anime. I just watched them because they were on, and they were great. Like, was it... all the Robotech, just amazing stuff.
And also the detail that some shows from the 80s, like He-Man and Thundercats and stuff, were animated by animation studios that also work on anime. So
I would mainly just classify that for the intros because the rest all look like Hanna-Barbera.
Absolutely, but there was some hand played there. I know that's a different thing, but that's just something that was also there during that time.
Yeah, and I think mainly I as a kid watched these things to see the intro.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The show came.
Yeah, that's true.
Then, okay. Next week I can see the intro again.
When I was a kid, at least, believe it or not, my brother and I, we would watch MASH just for the intro, the music and
MASH is great.
The helicopters. We love that intro. And then the rest of the show, we were like, what is this show? Because we're kids, we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. I as a kid, I didn't understand it at all. My grandma loved it.
Yeah.
But I rewatched it later when I was older, and then I got it, and it's actually pretty good.
It is a very good show. It's kind of like with Trigun. It starts off as a comedy, and it gets dark and serious halfway through, and like, oh my god. So
flip is switched. Switch is flipped.
Yeah, it's great show.
I always mix that one up. I always pull a Leslie Nielsen on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
All right, let's keep going with this wonderful guy who's been watching anime for 7, 8 years.
When did he make this? When did he make this?
Oh, let me check. This came out 3 months ago. All right.
3 months. He could have mentioned Shield Hero. He could have mentioned Log Horizon. He could have mentioned Made in Abyss. He could have mentioned Scrap Princess for all I care. Was pretty good, by the way. There's tons of them. Mononoke. I just watched Mononoke with Lale and some of the other guys and Ayakashi, and I was blown away.
It's still no. All I wanted to say that that movie still holds up to this day.
Not the Ghibli movie. Like everyone makes that mistake. Buckshot was watching, and his sister wanted to come because she thought we were watching the Ghibli movie. And then when the artsy shit started happening on screen and the Agatha Christie story in super artful Japanese traditional style came on, he said she immediately left the room.
Oh,
okay. Mononoke is amazing. I'll show you later, Ginga.
All right. Here's a super chat from Chris Tutu. Hey, Chris, I saw you this morning on LitDev's chat. How you doing? 14. Those are amateur numbers. I was born in the mid-'90s and got hooked in the later '90s. Wow. I'm 28 and still going strong. Yeah, I mean, this is this is part of our culture to watch animated shows, and I believe Japan has greatly influenced our childhood and is still influencing us. It's such a powerhouse. If you guys don't know, Japan used to be the second biggest economy in the world. I think they're just behind Germany. I think they're number 4 or number 5 this year. I can't remember the numbers. So they're huge. They're a huge cultural impact on the whole world. Yeah. So
especially in Europe, I've mentioned this a few times. Many countries, Canada as well, had commissioned to make cartoons written by locals, based on usually on local folklore or literary works, to be made into cartoons for kids by Japan. And it is some of the greatest animation of the time. Like Finland had the Moomins. That is just that is something else. That is like watching a Ghibli series, basically. Then Heidi in Switzerland was actually made by Studio Ghibli, and Canada had David the Kabouter. He was a little gnome who was the judge for the animals in the forest.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard of that one.
There's so many. I was growing up. I probably missed it, but
yeah,
tough to find. Anyway, let's keep going.
But in my early teen years, I've watched thousands of episodes. I wish I'd made one of those My Anime lists because I've actually forgotten.
So he watched thousands?
Do it. Start, and over time you fill in the gaps.
I'm kind of curious. Early teen years, so 14, 15. So that means the first 2 years of his life, he's watched thousands of anime. I don't even think that's mathematically possible.
Tens of thousands. So he watched all of One Piece.
He said tens of thousands?
He said tens of thousands.
That's not even physically possible. Forget the math. That's just not even possible.
Is that 20 minutes times 10,000?
Yeah, like that's like you're watching anime like 10 hours a day at least.
200,000 minutes.
It's not.
And that's just for the first 10,000.
That's crazy.
He said plural.
Yeah, so obviously, dude, if you're gonna say words, have some math to back it up. Just theoretically, I don't even care if you figured it out. Just making sure my brain doesn't explode.
We know it's a figure of speech, but stay with it. This is a bad excuse to not go to my anime list and actually click the stuff together.
If you
can't even remember, you wanted to give 3 examples and all you can say is Attack on Titan.
If he said
dude,
I've watched
that's loser shit.
If he was exaggerating like over the top, like I watch millions of animes back, it's like okay, fine, whatever, we don't care. But if he has a number which is close to possible, and I'm like, wait, is that even what you're talking about, or are you just exaggerating? So I want to, guys, when you exaggerate, go for the moon.
You wanted to build a self-deprecating joke there. I'm sorry, that just doesn't work.
Don't make my brain start to break down deductively if you're telling me the truth, because then you're going to mess me up and I'm going to hate you for it. So exaggerate properly or not at all.
The anime I've watched, and I want to say to some degree, and if that makes me like a fake fan or a normie or whatever, dude, I don't really give a shit. Like, so be it, right?
So your
I can name off
opinion is
specific
worthless.
No, it means you are desensitized, and you should take a break.
Yeah, no, this is the middle of the road sort
Only
of fan.
once a week.
He likes the thing, but he doesn't understand it, or he likes like one thing, and then he thinks, oh, I'm a fan of the whole genre. It's like, nope, you just know the one thing, like Attack on Titan, for whatever reason.
And with the image from Demon Slayer, was that a jab at fan service there, or what were you trying to? What were you posting that for?
That was just the popular thing that everyone knows.
Wait. I think I misinterpreted his because I.
That's Fairy Tale. Okay, yeah, there's a bunch of characters in there.
No, the thing he put on screen.
Me or whatever, dude, I don't really give a shit. Like, so be it, right? I can name off specific animes that have gone
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't go back fine.
There we go.
He put something on the screen.
This is definitely
Oh, he means the age of the character. Did you watch the show? Because this is not her normal form. This is not when she gets the demon power up going, she ages up. She matures up. When that goes down again, when she calms down again, she returns back to her prepubescent form. How old she actually is. That, by the way, happens to some of the demons when they're killed. And we see at the age of when they got turned into demons, they did not have maturing or mature adult bodies, all of them. Some stayed childlike, some didn't. Do you understand the material, boy?
I do, and this is literally the only thing I know about this fucking show.
Okay, let's keep going because
That says a lot.
we're a minute in, and I'm not buying this guy's.
What did we get people complaining about in these videos lately about media literacy? You don't have it.
Oh, let's not go there. Let's not use their statements. I don't want to start.
Okay, he
sounding
hasn't
like
used the term.
Okay, all right, let's go.
ruined anime for me to some degree. And if that makes me like a fake fan or a normie or whatever, dude, I don't really give a shit. Like, so be it,
No,
right?
I think you're
can
worse
name off
than a normie.
specific animes that have gone completely ruined due to the fan service. I mean, everybody knows Fairy Tale. It's became like such a meme of an anime because
No, it finished. Everyone was happy with it. It was like what 5 years ago or so. I can't remember when it finished, but people loved it. It was super popular. What is wrong with fan service? Like with Fairy Tale, with transforming
He's
people.
embarrassed about looking at pretty girls.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but she literally can change her armor on the fly in her wardrobe. Like that is her superpower. So like, what's wrong with that? You wouldn't have watched the show.
Oh no, there's pretty girls on the screen. I'm embarrassed because I'm getting a feeling between my legs.
Can you
I'm
imagine?
embarrassed.
Can you imagine looking at
Like,
Sailor Moon and going, "Oh my God, they're transforming."
Go outside to your high street or whatever you call that stuff. Sit down in a cafe, or if you have a marketplace, like if you have an old town like that, sit down at a cafe, enjoy your little snack on a nice day, make it a Friday or a Saturday, and just watch the people walk by. That's, by the way, is something normal people do. They just watch the other people in the town walk by, and you will see a lot of pretty girls that will also pretty themselves up, and they will also look fine. They will not run around like sluts. They will look nice.
All right.
That is normal. Women like to look nice.
Here's this is
be embarrassed.
This is a $50 donation. Wow, that's a big one from Pallet Jack. I'm surprised Pallet Jack is not using a more provocative name, but that's okay. Thank you, sir, for the 50. Happy New Year, Smud and crew. Thanks for all the interesting conversation, and here's to many more. Well, if we're going to have people like this in December, I can only imagine. This is a 3-month-old video. I can only imagine that it's going to get worse.
Yeah, 2024 is going to bring a whole new level of crazy.
Yeah, I haven't even checked out
that nasty adult who's going to say, okay, yeah, I had the privilege of growing up with the internet as a kid, But you generation, now that you all you normal people have easy internet access, who didn't have that back in the day when I was a kid, you need to be barred from the internet until you're 18.
Well,
you are not ready.
I haven't seen the spring seasons that's coming up for anime. I've only watched a few anime. I mostly read manga, so I'm assuming it's based off the mangas. So I don't know what's coming. But people are just going to get more annoyed because anime is just getting better. It's getting bigger. It's better. There's more of it. And if you can't take that, you just stop. Just stop it. Stop watching it. It's okay. You don't have to watch it.
And there will be less polite fetish ideology localization in the future.
That's true.
Have you heard the news?
People aren't buying.
No. Japan went like crack down on. We are fed up with your bullshit translations. We are now building our own AI, feed our own AI with visual novel stuff and other stuff, and will auto translate everything with the AI.
Interesting.
Fuck you, woke assholes in the West. You will not destroy our art anymore.
So when the publishers sell or license their product, it will be automatically translated in multiple languages?
Hopefully.
Wow.
And of course, the Vocaloids are livid. Because, how dare you not use humans for this? It needs a human touch. But not yours. Not yours. And there is rumors that one of the initiating forces was a Yakuza boss who heard his waifu was disrespected in the West. I don't know which, maybe some Gran Blue waifu, I have no idea.
All right. That's interesting. I'd love to hear that.
Go Yakuza.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that if it's recorded somewhere on the internet. I'd love to hear that speech. But anyway, we're a minute in, and he's not setting a good setup for the argument to come. He's just sort of like painting himself like, I'm a fan, but not a big fan, and I'm blah blah blah. And you're like, oh, okay, not good. Let's get to the actual points. Let's get to the actual examples, and then we can.
If there are any.
Yes, I know. We don't know yet. Oh boy, this is gonna suck if this is the setup. Anyway.
This is, and I gotta say, I actually fairy tale. It's just that they can't animate for shit.
Wait. You like the show, but the animation sucks. This is not making sense.
Oh yeah, which is based on the One Piece art style that has the thinnest girls with the biggest boobs. And you complain that, oh no, fan service.
I love the show, but I don't like
Your
watching
art
it.
style is fan service, man.
I love the game, but I don't like playing it. It's like, what? Okay, whatever your argument is.
Into the boobs. I mean, think about it, bro. You watch PowerPoint presentation that it's supposed to be an animated fight, right? And then
it is
2 seconds after the fight is over, they have the best jiggle physics you'd ever see.
Okay, there's no such thing as jiggle physics in classical animation, buddy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and that wasn't the greatest. That was rather basic.
That's like 7-8 frames of animation. I mean, in a loop.
Oh, at max.
Yeah.
It's still better animated than Castlevania Nocturne.
I'm not seeing what the offense is. Like, who cares? There's a girl in a halter top and she's strong.
Do you just want them all to have rock hard plastic boobs? Like they would do the same thing with a really fat bellied man.
Yeah, I'm not seeing what the issue is.
For the joke then. But here, have you ever seen real ones move? Have you? Come on. The answer is, we all know the answer is no, otherwise you wouldn't complain. Because they do move, you know?
I see nothing offensive in here. Like, this is nothing, there's nothing titillating about this. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? There's plenty of scenes of action where women are moving their bodies, and this is one of them. And it's not even that exciting.
And other boob jokes also contain not being able to pass through something or bumping into something. Naga in Slayers had that constantly. She was a comic relief character.
All right.
Amazingly written one.
Let's keep going.
That will break your brain.
Like, you could tell somebody sat there pristine. They sat down for an hour for 3 seconds 3 seconds of jiggle physics. And it makes me
It's
wonder,
not
what is
jiggle
the point
physics.
of the
3
anime
seconds.
if the fight scenes are
Dude,
gonna...
okay. You have a problem with determining time. That was not 3 seconds. More like 3 frames.
I don't like the use of the term jiggle physics. It's not a game. This is not an engine using a physics engine. This is literally someone drawing. It's not even the same. There's no physics involved. What are you talking about? It's not Dead or Alive. Like, what are you talking about?
If he's that apprehensive, he could never do martial arts training with a girl.
Well, I just want him to get the vocabulary right. So we're not like, what is he talking? Is he talking about a 3D anime? Is he talking about a video game? No, he's talking about 2D fairy tale.
It's the only word he knows. It's a buzzword.
Yeah.
He thinks, maybe even he thinks it's funny. I don't know.
Yeah.
a high school presentation, but the jiggle physics looks like the president himself requested it. What is the point of the show?
No,
okay,
it
Fairy Tail is a
doesn't.
pretty big meme for its fan service. I guess that's not a fair representation. How about I choose an anime that people actually enjoy nowadays, like Fire Force?
shut up.
I think I might actually get a bit of hate for this because this anime is actually beloved, but what is the point of a firefighter wearing a bikini?
Do you know her character? Do you know her powers? My God, this is the most basic question. If guys, if you've not watched Fire Force, people have this power called ignition, and they manifest pyrotechnics in their own ways. Half this girl's character is like she's a cat, so she acts like a cat. She likes cat things. She turns into a cat, and her skin, she's fire retardant, so she doesn't get her skin doesn't burn. And if you actually see her character design, it's a very good character design. She wears a variety of clothing, and she mostly wears a jacket that is open, and she has a bra or something else, but because she wears it so she can move like a cat. She needs to move fast. And you don't even need that example, because we know people in this show are superpowered to control fire. So whatever, you don't need to wear the full fireman outfit in Fire Force. So
pyromancy.
Exactly. Like one guy can summon fire and throw it like a missile. The other, like she could, I think she evolves. Like she doesn't start off this way. She develops her skill, and she eventually can cover her body in fire and emit it. And then she has like these fire ears and fire tail. She could balance and move really quickly like a cat up a wall. So it's part of her character. It's part of her fighting style. And yeah, she wears other clothing as well. It's not just one. She has the orange suit. She has the fireman suit. She has out of work suit. She wears a hat sometimes. Like they're characters with full personalities and lifestyles and clothing. So this is not some crazy unheard of thing.
A bikini is also just a fancy bra.
Right. It's not
You
unheard of.
wear it. You wear it not just to keep the lewds away. You also wear it for support.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about. I was always argue Kill la Kill is a bit silly because her outfit is a little over the top for my tastes. If you're going to have a transforming superpower outfit, I think that's a little bit too much for my taste. Does it make sense within the story? I think it does, but I don't care. I don't care for
anime.
it. Yeah, it's
Everything is silly, over the top, and doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, for me, it's not my style of, I don't know, art, storytelling, whatever. In this case, it makes like you don't even like look at Metal Gear Solid 5 with Quiet. You don't even
It fit into the wider world.
you don't even need the explanation that she's photosynthetic and whatever. It's just she's a sniper. You know, she wears whatever she wants. She's in the background half the time. There's maybe one scene where she's playing in the water for a shower or whatever. Like, that's it. That's all there is in the whole show or the whole game.
You get caught as a sniper, you're done anyway. Because you work alone or in a very small team.
It's so inconsequential, and people are like, "Oh, Hideo Kojima's a pervert." It's like, no, he's being creative. Maybe not in the best way, but you know, we've seen this in MGS3. The previous sniper was photosynthetic. Now she is.
Was the end photosynthetic?
Yep. You
Really?
even get his outfit if you fight him or you defeat him with the trank gun, the most in the Sagant, and you can actually replenish your stamina wearing it, his outfit. So, this is if you know the lore, it's like, this is no big deal. But even if you don't know the lore, it's like, is it offending anyone? Is it an issue? She's a special character that is unique compared to everyone else. And it makes sense within the lore if you care to pay attention. So,
By the way, we still have family nude beaches in Germany.
yeah. And Sweden.
And
Anyway.
North Korea, though that's
Oh, yeah.
more a product of not having anything, which might be the same reason in East Germany. But I noticed another thing. You remember we talked about High School of the Dead?
Yeah.
That was prime boob animation. These are his examples, these like free frame things.
You see, that's a...
He hasn't watched High School of the Dead. He probably hasn't watched much of anything if these are his hyper animated stuff examples.
I think
he
that's...
hasn't watched Agent Ica.
Oh, God, no. He'd pretty much jump off a cliff if that was something he'd watch. Like, he'd be like, oh, my God.
I think he'd die from blood loss through nose bleeding.
Yeah, I mean, if he were to look at those shows, like, that would be a good comparison. Agent Ica, or is it Project Ica or Agent Ica?
Agent
Ica and High School of the Dead. If you look at those two shows, yes, the ecchi is really high, and it plays into the concepts of, well, Agent Ica universe is very weird, so I don't know if that's a valid assessment. But
I only know the movie, and it is infamous in Germany for its absolutely atrocious dub.
Yeah, that's another issue.
We watch it for the bad dub.
Yeah. But if you want to take those examples, because that's where there's a sufficient amount of fan service where it's so much there, and it's over the top. You're like, okay, how much is too much and why? Why is it presented the way it's presented? Because Agent Ica, it's not just boobs, it's butts, it's panties, it's girls flipping around and fighting each other in a Secret Service sort of scenario. Whereas High School of the Dead is a bunch of girls trying to survive in a zombie apocalypse with a guy who has all these... He has a friend who's into guns, and he uses the guns to protect the girls. And you're like, okay, do we really need the samurai chick to fight in the water? And because it's like, yeah, she does, because water is defeats the zombies. Zombies don't like water, so it's like, oh, it makes sense for her to be all wet, which is obviously titillating. But that, again, you have these lore elements that explain that. So it's a form of fantasy.
Unlike American horror movies, where I got sprayed by the water sprinkler on the grass. Oh no! As I am running from the horror thing, like anime tries to make sense.
Yeah,
American cinema just seems to look for bad excuses.
Yeah.
Good excuse versus bad excuse. Let's put it that way.
So it doesn't even need that explanation, but if it adds to the world building, it adds to the characterization. Okay, she fights in the water. She has to know how to fight. She has to know how to swing a weapon. Then she gets her sword. Then she's actually a fighter. And now they're surviving together. Yes, and her body's moving around. And yes, the animation's very good. And yes, they're going to animate the boobs and the hips and the hair. And there's all kinds of scenarios after the fact where they get into these tight conditions. We're like, oh, we're close. We're surviving in this apartment, and we're taking a bath. And oh my God, we got to go out there again. And there's these moments of respite and the moments of action, and it jumps up and down. And that's the story. So once you get that, it's like, this makes sense.
Yeah, and what we have here on the screen even is a joke. It's a joke. The other character tells her, you went a bit too far. We didn't mean that much.
Yeah,
that's the joke.
She gets in the fights
too much. We didn't want you to take off that much.
Even the fights she's in, she actually uses her clothing for fuel to start a fire, to like break through a wall or make a smoke screen or signal like for help. So it's not just titillation. There's functional use. And I mean, this is, if you just watch the show, you just pay attention for like 2 minutes, go, oh, okay, I get it. That's normal. So, believe it or not, the mangakas, the artists, the writers, they think about these things, so it's not just stupid titillation. It's thought out, even if it's just one excuse or one reason.
Yeah, and there are shows who do this in a bad, lazy fashion, or just incompetent or pretentious. Interlude is an example of that.
I was gonna do the infamous.
Probably relatively unknown. I thought that was I first thought that was something interesting, but it just turned in the last episode. It just turned out into some edgy, I think worse than edgy stuff. Where it looked like some post-apocalypse thing, and the character play where you had, I think that was badly inspired by some Hideaki Anno styles, where you had between the scenes you had the characters sitting in this stage room with a spotlight on and saying something about themselves, and it was not good.
I was going to bring up the famous or infamous now, the Neon Genesis scenario with Asuka in the hospital bed, which that was, I mean, they actually took the time to have Shinji masturbate, and you're just like, what, why are we doing this? You know, just to have this scene to tell, oh, by the way, I'm fucked. It's like, yeah, we know. We don't need to have 30 seconds of you jerking off to
I thought the excuse was that Hideaki Anno did this as a portrayal of the fans that just want to jerk off to the show.
I don't know.
And he didn't want to actually make more of it at the time.
Maybe that was a personal thing, but there's so many scenes in these avant-garde depictions of whatever, and you're just like, oh God, are you serious? This is really what we need to see from Shinji Ikari again. He's pathetic.
We didn't see anything from Shinji. Nobody likes Shinji.
Yeah,
Shinji doesn't like Shinji.
It's one of those things you're like, okay, that was unnecessary. Anyway, let us continue. We're 2 minutes and a half, and he's not making any good points yet, but that's okay. He's got time.
He's getting warmed up.
18-year-old firefighter. Okay, she's actually off of the way the wiki describes her appearance. Tamaki is a young girl. Her outfit consists of black panties and a bra. Tamaki's torso is open, revealing her entire...
Let's pause that. A protective outer jacket, a neck protector, dark boots, and protective gloves. And that's, if you search for her name on Google Images, you'll find multiple outfits she's in. Or the orange one.
Young girl can be interpreted in various ways. It contains little girl, but isn't little girl. You can say young girl to a little girl, but you can't say little girl to a 17-year-old girl. That would still be a young girl because she is, well, not over 18, not over 20. That's that.
This is not, I mean, her age is, she's obviously a young woman, so it's not a big deal, yeah.
And apparently you haven't looked around in your classroom.
All right.
Like even 6th grade is some girls develop very quick. It's a bit, and they get picked on for that because the boys haven't yet developed their pattern recognition. So that was the case in our elementary school in 6th grade, where they made fun of a girl who was a very early bloomer. None of them got dates later.
All right, here's some super chats I missed. Thank you, Chris Tutu, one more time for the $13.99. Agent in high school, so Agent Aika and High School DxD, aren't mandatory watching. No anime is. If he doesn't enjoy a genre or trope, he isn't forced to watch them. Fluffy Paradise is something he will greatly enjoy when it's released. I'm not sure what that is, but thank you for making that suggestion. I have never heard of that. And here we have the Copper Owl. Be me, insert a naked sword woman into your book. I mean, if you're writing about barbarians or any of those beautiful fantasy books that have the amazing artwork of muscular men and women with fighting dragons with spears and swords, I mean, that's always cool. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons you pick up those fantasy books. You're like, whoa, what the hell is this amazing artwork? You're going to read about swords and sorcery in barbarian times, whenever those fantasy stories take place. Anywho.
He never watched Ranma.
Oh, geez.
And he would not survive Shinshan.
I don't even know that
which
one.
Is a Japanese staple. It's not my thing. I don't like the art style, but it's a Japanese staple. They love it.
Anyway,
there are silly amounts of seasons.
Anyway, guys, do a Google image search of Tamaki. You'll find a bunch of outfits she's in. Read her wiki. I'm sure she's in several outfits. It's not just one with a bra. So she's very stylish. She's a cat girl. She acts like a cat. That's her thing.
cleavage. Her trousers are also they do make note of her curvaceous body. You know, I hate to say this, but if I described a 17-year-old girl like this, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be allowed within 100 feet of a high school, which I'm already.
Yes, you would.
Yes,
You
would.
haven't
Okay.
been, you haven't been in high school then? Have you? Girls look like that at 17. It's normal. Have you ever gone like on vacation at some beach? Ever? Like, what is wrong with you people?
She has a really good, like her design is really good, and that's the one with the unzipped fireman jacket. If you look at her orange jumpsuit, it's covering her entire body, and then she has more stylish ones where she's out and about when she's not working. So,
Have you considered you're not the target audience for this, but that teenagers are?
Yeah,
Who would be totally allowed to start a relationship with her, but since you are over 18, you're not.
Yeah,
you have to wait.
It sounds as if his high school is extremely strict on dress code, which it sounds like it's a Catholic high school. But even then, I went to a Catholic high school. They weren't like, you can't describe girls like wearing halter tops. It's like, why not?
I think what's going on in the American mind at this point is that they have this magical belief that everybody under 18 or even under 21, because they're not allowed to drink until 21.
Oh yeah.
That everyone under 21 is a prepubescent child, and then on their birthday they suddenly turn into mature adults with boobs and whatever else is relevant.
Yeah, it's amazing that cute girls can have curvaceous figures and not zip up their fire jacket because they're pyrotechnics that can control fire and their skin is naturally flame retardant. I mean, wow. Why wouldn't you try to be as naked as... This is like the Human Torch, argument. Like every time he turns himself on, he burns his clothing. It's like, why would you wear clothing? Same with the Incredible Hulk. He keeps
he's just saving money.
Yeah, it's like it's really impractical to use your powers if you destroy your clothing every time you transform.
To be fair, the Fantastic Four almost immediately created a workaround for that.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like they repurposed the spacesuits that they had when they were hit by the cosmic radiation.
There you go.
Stretchy fabric.
Got some lore in there to explain why. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the fact that because that both the clothes and the people radiate the same cosmic radiation, like the suits adapt to all their powers.
They explained that with Superman having an aura, so if he gets hit by a bullet, the fabric is being surrounded by the aura. So
they made that part of his power set. Yeah.
He has a shield.
He has a small aura covering his body.
Basically, like a biological shield that as a result of his Kryptonian powers. Yes.
All right.
But not for. What is the point, bro? Like, you don't understand the bikini firefighting. Like, what? What is the point, dude? You can't make it make sense.
Yes, you can. It's in the story. It's on her wiki page. I bet it's got to be there.
Also, girls that age like to show off. They do.
She is literally...
Maybe not around you. Maybe they're creeped out by you, and that's why they cover up. Because that's also what girls do. When they're creeped out by certain people, they get out their hoodie and put it on in the midst of summer.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So maybe you just never saw girls like this because they're all creeped out by you.
If you watch the show, you will see half of her personality and her behavior and her interests surround the concept of a cat. Her actual name, Tama, I think, means ball, which is the shape a cat takes when they sleep. So they obviously had this concept of a girl who transforms into a cat later on in the story. I think this is like her second transformation. I can't remember all the process, but...
What was the show called again?
Fire Force.
I thought Tama was the turtle.
I could be wrong. Tamataki, what the hell's her name again? Sorry, it's been a while since I've seen this show, or read the manga, rather.
Which by the way also works for curling up round thing, pearl, whatever is Gyoku.
Yeah, the joke is that she's a black cat, so she's always unlucky. She gets into scenarios that she shouldn't, and she tries to ask for help, and bad things happen to her. So that's kind of the ongoing thing as a cat and as a pyrotechnic that cannot be burned. It's should I use the protective fire gear that slows me down when I'm fighting, or should I take it off because I know I can't get hurt? Like, oh yeah. Anyway.
For the record, yes, he's using the
And if you have to say,
fandom
like,
wiki page
her
for
ability-
Marky.
For her ability to work, like, like half of the My Hero Academia cast, like, why does the writer have to write so dog shit that the cast has to be naked in order for their abilities to work? It sounds like cope, doesn't it?
No.
Because you can't, because otherwise you would also have to be able to turn clothes invisible, and thereby you could turn other items invisible. But the invisible girl is only invisible. So when she wears clothes, people know where she is. Her power becomes pointless.
I'm failing to see.
Have you seen The Invisible Man? Same problem.
I'm failing to see his argument. He's getting nitty gritty, and he's not having seen the show.
He's also lying.
Well,
maybe he hasn't seen the show, but he's simply lying because he could just read these things up.
Yeah, he's on the Wikipedia page. Like, just read her powers, list them. Why are they? What's her limitations? What can't she do? Why does she wear clothing this certain way? It's like, oh, her powers cause her to turn on fire, and her clothing would burn or slow her down. I imagine something like that.
Anyone remember Wonder Woman's invisible plane?
I try not to. It's so silly. Anyway. The Copper
Because the
L.
plane is invisible, but you don't get invisible when you sit in it.
Thank you for the 2 Copper L. Now I just watched Hot Chicks in my book. I wanted Hot Chicks in my book. See, there's nothing wrong with that. If this is the whole point of Tamaki, is to be a cute girl who fights like a cat and likes cat things and acts like a cat, it's like, yeah, great. It makes sense. It's visually obvious. She transforms into a fire cat. It's like, yep.
What is it with this generation being so sexually repressed as if they were tortured by Christian fundamentalists?
I really think this has to do with the woke movement. I really do, because anything sexual is like, oh, you can't do that. It's bad. It's like, why? It looks...
Is the woke movement, in the end, not socialist, but rather a psyop by the Christian fundamentalists? So that they finally get their sexual repression in the teenagers?
I don't know. It's too retarded to be that level of sophistication, because it's just every month it's like, oh, she's too sexually open. Oh, no, now she's not sexually open enough. She has to sleep with other girls. You're like, what is going on with the criticisms?
Yeah, you have to be super sex positive, but you also have to be sexually repressed at the same time.
Yeah, you have to be this ugly troll-looking girl to be accepted, and black, and Asian, and short, and some other and a wheelchair. Like, pick any other deformity. Like, just keep going with the list.
Yeah, and dude, I mean this in total honesty. This is what truly is going on. The movement, the woke movement, which is a socialist movement, that made you be embarrassed about a healthy female physique, is the same movement that really, at the same time, wants to legalize and normalize diddling kids. You'd think you hate lolicons, you are being used by the same movement that wants to normalize real life diddling kids. It's surprisingly insane.
Okay, let's keep going.
Like, writer of this manga is like, how am I supposed to sexualize a 15-year-old girl without looking like
17.
a creep? Oh, that's right. Her ability. She has to be naked to perform her ability. It's genius. No, it's not, bro. You're a pedophile.
No.
No.
Are you...
Dude, pedophilia is focused on boys and girls who are prepubescent. Pedophiles are attracted to the undeveloped body. Being attracted to a developed body is completely normal. If you are male and you are attracted, you are aroused by seeing D-cup breasts. That is the most normal thing in the world. Just because there is some legal barrier, we draw. Whether that is 18, whether that is 16, whether that is 21 for some mad reason. That line exists because the mental development does not go hand in hand with the physical development. That is why we allow teenagers to try out all this nonsense with each other, but once someone passes the legal line that we've set, which usually is 18 in most countries as far as I know, then we need to be careful, because we expect people to be older than 18, to have enough of a developed prefrontal cortex, which teenagers are still growing and prepubescents don't even have. That's the area of the brain that allows you to your long-term planning, to understand long-term consequences. So we expect people that are above 18 to not exploit the mad brain of teenagers. That's what it's for. But if you think you can't be aroused by round shapes as a man, because somebody put an arbitrary number on the character, because that girl could just as well be 26. You couldn't tell the difference. The difference between a 17-year-old girl and a 25-year-old girl is almost nothing. If she doesn't go partying every night, smoking and drinking, which will age her up very quickly, she will look like 40 at 25. When she doesn't do that, at 25, she will look the fucking same as she did in her teens. You cannot tell. That is why when a young woman goes to buy alcohol in the supermarket, in countries where you cannot buy alcohol in a supermarket, or the young woman goes to a club, she has to show her ID. Why does she have to show her ID? Because the bouncer can't tell whether she's over 18 or not. She can be 25. If she looks like, I don't know, you have to show your ID. And when she's 25 and when she's 18 and she's asked for her ID, she's annoyed. When she's 20, she's annoyed. When she's 25 and is asked for her ID, she's totally happy because, hey, that means I don't look old yet.
All right.
Have I rambled enough on this?
Here is Rough Dog 1000. Thank you, sir, for the 5. I wonder what people like this think of games like Nikke Got Us a Victory or Genshin Impact. If you guys don't know Nikke, it's basically the ass game where all the girls have guns and you fire from behind cover and you just see them bending over firing guns. It's awesome. It's fun. And it's on mobile. It's free. Genshin Impact, I think I don't have to talk about that. Everyone knows Genshin. So, yeah.
Genshin does have some weird lolis.
There's lots of weird everything in Genshin. There's so many.
It has everything. But
this guy is saying because a dude, like this is also a guy who drew Soul Eater, I think, which are both animes. So he started 2 mangas, and they got turned into animes. He's very successful as far as the manga world and anime world is concerned. He is not a pedophile, I'm sorry to say.
Look, I'll fire one back here, because he accuses men who are, and women, by the way, who are aroused by D-cups to be pedophiles because they're attached or they grew on a 17-year-old girl. By the way, your boob size is likely grown out at that point. There's very little that comes to it by that age. So that's where it is. You call people who like big boobs pedophiles. You know what that tells me? You hate big boobs. Your whole problem here is boobs. And the only people that I know who really have a problem with big boobs are people who like underdeveloped girls. If you are not someone who's... And the normal flat is justice people, they're fine. They're fine with there being women who don't have a flat chest. But the people who are really, really, really miffed at big boobs, they tend to be the real pedophiles. Let that sink in. Do some self-reflection. Whether you really want to pull this argument.
Yeah, I'm compelled to write a comment saying if you think a person who makes an anime about firefighters with magical fire powers a pedophile, when there's, I think about a dozen characters in the story, on average. I mean, there's they're fighting each other and whatever. I think someone on staff would have been like, "Hey, dude, maybe you're going a bit too far in certain areas." When you're talking about other shonen anime, like High School DxD, where the whole half the show is just titillation. It's like, dude, this is the wrong anime to levy that charge with. You're missing the mark. And if you read the manga, yeah, there's some sexually compromising scenarios in certain parts, but compared to other stuff, it's really not that big a deal. And for him to say this is such an insult or lack of information.
It also shows that he never ran into a natural, completely innocent situation like that in his life.
Maybe.
Bit embarrassing. Like most people have that.
He's obviously
I've had this little embarrassing moment with a girl that they weren't necessarily even into. It's just this random accident. Sorry.
I would say he's immature on multiple levels, and for him not to know the manga and anime world, that this is not a big deal, this is not a huge issue, and to go to the point of accusing the mangaka and the producers. I think Square Enix produced Soul Eater, like to accuse all these people of harboring a pedophile because his design has a girl with a bra.
If you want to complain about pedophiles, go to other wokists like Norelities.
Okay. Anyway, he's insulting fans and creators of the show, which I think is a little over the top. But anyway, let's keep going.
There is sometimes where fan service is kind of appreciated, like when the character is of age. If it doesn't,
she's 17. What? She's post puberty. What is the issue? I don't get it.
Character, or you meant the one before?
Well, obviously he was talking about what's her face from the anime I dislike. Everything I dislike, I forget about.
The one just shown was just, she was drawn to look older.
Yeah.
And so he's I understand. He's into older women.
I don't know. What is wrong?
Like he's into women who are in their 30s.
There's nothing wrong.
He doesn't understand. He lacks the life experience to have understood that women in their 20s look the same as they did in their teens.
I'm not quite grasping this guy's argument. Outside of he does not like young girls who are sexy.
He wants direct indicators. Yeah.
And she's not even over the top sexy. She's just she's a cute, attractive girl.
Yeah. So all the females who are legally underage need to be burqa'd up, wrapped up in towels that you can't see them. And only when they are definitely drawn in a way where you can tell that they're over 30, then they're allowed to show boobs. But they need to look old, like they already had a child or something. Or, well, the got wrinkles.
All right. 4 minutes in, and he is really showing his biases that are... I dare say he's not even a fan of anime, if this is what he thinks of people who enjoy or who have created this show or drew this manga. I don't know. This is sad. Because if we sat down with him and say, hey, what do you think about anime? Oh, it's full of pedophiles and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, really? So everyone who reads this stuff are pedophiles? It's like, oh, no, just the creators. Like, just the creators. So people who appreciate...
No. Now I get it. I get it. Okay, so when you are a teenage boy. You can like this because she is not of age, but the moment on your 18th birthday you turn into a pedophile because you still like girls who are almost the same age as you.
Anyway.
It's insane.
We
didn't think it through.
We're spending more time trying to understand this guy, let alone listen to his argument because his argument's so stupid. You're like, okay, why are you even saying this, dude? Like, what's the reason behind this? Oh boy.
5 seconds. Like there is like a specific scene or it has like one where it showed off like Mikasa's new physique in the new season or something. It's like it's nothing crazy. It doesn't happen 5 times an episode. It's just one scene. It doesn't even show off that much, and you just move on. I would say this is a scene that like your parents.
It's still fan service.
It
has story reason for it. But you're okay with it because you watched Attack on Titan and you liked Attack on Titan, so it's okay here. She still wears basically a sports bra, the equivalent.
Yeah,
of that.
It's kind of weird because she's the one character that it doesn't make too much sense why she's so strong, and then there is a backstory that explains that something triggers in her brain to cause her to be so motivated to be strong, but there's no physiological change like we would think. So you just assume
she's just auto brainwashed into adapting to this behavior
to fight to protect her brother-ish character that she loves. Yeah,
who manipulates time.
Just no, stop. No. Anyway, Mikasa? Yeah, Mikasa. Yeah.
Mikasa.
Yeah.
Mikasa.
Scene that could walk in and you wouldn't feel weird. But then again, when it comes to like an anime like Fire Force, I just had it.
That looked no different.
Yeah.
That looked completely fine.
She's bending over
you
and
have to try
smiling.
to go, well, don't look at then don't watch it when your parents are around. You don't watch Lex when your parents are around.
Well, you don't watch Lex in general. I just don't think that's a good. You want to blow up a planet? What?
What was that?
It's a great example.
It's too weird a show to talk about. It's just like, oh, let's cut up some bodies for their organs. Like what? Like what?
I still love the court scene.
Oh God.
It's great. It's great.
Anyway, don't watch Lex.
Yeah, don't.
Shut it off. It doesn't even make sense. Like, it's not a beach anime. It's not It's not a swimming anime. It's a firefighter anime.
Yes.
Why are you in a bikini?
Because she needs to move quickly, and her power makes her resilient to fire. She doesn't need the clothing. It will slow her down and burn away.
Yeah, it will just cause unnecessary amounts of money. If your skin is fireproof, why would you wear non-fireproof clothes over your...
She has these nails, like it sticks out of her gloves, so it doesn't burn her gloves.
Your logic.
Yeah, she has these 2 fire tails. Like her entire pants would light on fire. That's why her pants have holes in them.
And again, to bring up the Fantastic Four example, Johnny wears a suit because not only is it adapting to his powers, but even without that, he wears it for the style anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point because you would have to invent special magical clothing to be, I don't know, dimensional or like, you know how the Flash has all his clothing in a ring because it's special. It's like, okay, it's a special clothing so it doesn't tear up when he travels really quickly.
And good thing you bring up the 2 tails because that implies that is a reference to the Nekomata, which is a playful cat spirit.
Yeah, that's her ability.
It's similar. Yeah, it has similarities with the kitsune, which is the playful, mischievous, also manipulative fox spirit. The Nekomata has similar property.
Okay, I just missed a super chat.
That also being a bit sexy plays into that.
It's a great story. It's not some super genius story, but it's a fun story. It's action packed with the anime, and I'm glad it was adapted to an anime because you read the manga, it's like, wow, these action scenes, you could do a lot with them because it's all about buildings breaking down and people fighting across buildings and using fire powers. And there's this church element as well.
We also have visual storytelling in the very frame he's showing us. Because that's is that her pants that she's letting fall there? Some piece of clothing.
Quite tell, yeah.
Yeah. You see how it made a crater in the pavement, Dragon Ball style?
Yeah.
That indicates how heavy that is.
Yeah.
All right, here's the copper out one more time. Thank you, sir. If I had a nickel for every time a guy says X is pedo, then I'd be Elon. There's a woke movement to make 25 and under children to excuse their own BS. What? I'm young, therefore I could say nonsense? 25 being the limit? What? Okay.
You need to rephrase that sentence. I can't pass that. There's at least one comma missing.
Anyway, yeah, no, just read the manga, watch the show. It'll all make sense. It's not that complicated a show. It's really not, compared to like My Hero Academia, which is everyone has all these weird powers that have to be explained. This makes a lot of sense because everyone has the same category of power. It's all pyrotechnics. So
this guy wants to watch something good. He needs to watch. He still had 2 free slots there. Watch Log Horizon. Watch Mushishi.
Oh, Mushishi. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Again, this is Tamaki. Tamaki is basically just a Japanified version of the Human Torch from Marvel, just with some details switched around.
Yeah, pretty much. She controls fire. Yeah.
Attention video that Fire Force actually does parody fan service on purpose. Like they do it on purpose as a joke, like to make fun of other animes that do it. And I guess that does make it a little bit more understandable, but it's still kind of weird. Also, it's hard.
No, it's not. You're just
a
idiot.
You just said it makes a joke of other animes that or shows or mangas that do it, but it's still weird. That just means you don't understand it.
In Germany and Franco-Belgian comics, there are entire comic series that are this. Very different style, but it's just slightly lewd comics that make slightly lewd jokes. It's all that. Like, grow up.
Like you can't have any
you
sort of levity.
Not even grow
you
to enjoy something like this.
Like you imagine watching Dragon Ball and I don't know, maybe Goku wasn't a goofball. Like he was just constantly serious about fighting. He just had no fun at all. He wasn't a kid. It'd be like boring.
What I'm worried about is if this guy, for some magical reason, like hypothetically, he gets a wife, he gets a daughter, and then eventually that daughter goes into puberty, and dares have C cups or D cups at 15. He's done for. His brain explodes because he will not be able to comprehend why does my daughter look like a mature woman?
How did people draw girls at the age of 25? I don't understand. Like, they're artists.
It's better not talk about what periods actually are and what they indicate. Why all this weird stuff happens in the teenage years.
All right. 5 minutes in, and he's making a bad job of Fire Force explaining it. So
to say that it's just when she's not the only fan service character quite a lot. So yeah, I'm kind of scared to start new animes out because I feel like I'm gonna get hooked on the first 2 episodes and then the third one's gonna have naked children in it. So that's why I don't watch anime anymore. But let's talk about those animes that are actually designed to be.
Do research.
You don't watch it anymore? What? Iginga?
No, I'm just telling this guy, just do more research into it.
He has no problem researching to find boob pictures and put.
Yeah, when he's talking against them.
To his definition, we had this happen before, where somebody complains that there's so much pedophilia in anime, and then puts the actual scenes where the panties are exposed right on the screen. He did this several times now. Where he thinks this is pedophilia if you like this or anything, or if you enjoy this in any way. And he puts it on screen uncensored. He is so offended by it, but he puts it on screen uncensored.
Was it the 14-year-old that had Half-Life Alyx in the background? I remember that one.
So on the screen, if you guys don't know this one, this is the Hajimete no Gal, I think, or Gyaru. And it's kind of a silly romance comedy. I didn't really. There's a few of these that have Gyarus in them, but it's one of the weaker ones to my taste. But it's not a bad anime. The twist is that the guy was forced to say to this girl that she likes him, like in a dare, I think. And he ends up developing feelings for her, even though he was lying at the time. And he learns to treat her with respect as he does with other people. And that's the message of the manga. It then drags on way too long. I think it's still ongoing. So it's one of those not poorly well thought out mangas, but it's fine for what it is. It's not hard reading, and it's cute. And there's all these pretty girls. Like the girl on the left, top left, is the main girl's best friend, and she tries to seduce the main character. He never gets seduced because, again, he's a Japanese boy. They're like, oh no, girl is scary. The girl on the right is one of those controlling, I'm the best in the world sort of chicks. And I think the girl on the bottom left is a big boobed, lowly chick, same age, of course. But that's it. It's such a simple setup, and there's nothing controversial about it. Yeah, there's a lot of ecchi scenes, but this guy would probably freak out because, oh my God, girls like a guy. That's scary or that's gross. It's like, no, it's a fantasy. This is a typical harem anime where all the girls are to the one guy for some strange reason we don't know. So, and it's about gyarus or gals. So that's it.
I also mentioned it because this topic is almost not talked about at all because much fewer people watch these J-dramas, which are basically little soap operas that run in a similar fashion as anime. They're not these endless soap operas that we know in the West. They contain stories that have like 1 or 2 seasons or just very short seasons. And what you might otherwise call live action. And these J-dramas use a lot of the same anime tropes, including the little embarrassing scenes.
Okay.
No problem there. But that doesn't have as big a scene as anime.
Raunchy rom-com
Outside of
animes that
Japan.
come out. There's like 5 of them that come out a season, if not more. And then, all like the 20-year-old eager.
Hentai is hentai. Are you talking about normal anime or are you talking about hentai? If you want to complain about hentai, you're complaining about porn.
Yeah, I think he meant ecchi anime. He said raunchy, so I was like, okay, that's not quite porn, but it's something.
Oh,
yeah.
I heard hentai. My bad.
The cosplay of the main female lead, all the simps all over them and stuff. And I'm just gonna say it, bro. These animes are either designed for
girls like to look pretty and like to be wanted. That's it.
I'm not seeing the problem here. Guys like watching. I like reading about romance, whether it's.
Is he now shitting on women?
I don't know what's going on. This is
He's
silly.
misogynistic pedophile. Okay.
Young adults can't like romance, really, with pretty girls. No, they can't. That's wrong. They got girls showing off their chests. Oh my God, the end of the world.
And thanks for Tyler Press mentioning it in the chat. A lot of these anime and manga that they're based on were made by women. Are the women pedophiles?
Oh, let's not get into the yaoi genre at all, because that's
no, just the normal ones with the like pretty girls, one guy, that thing. Those are also made by women.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep going.
14-year-old kids that don't have bitchless 20-year-olds.
Not 14.
Or 30-year-olds. Who knows, man? And it's not fair to complain about the fan service in an anime like this because the show is literally designed to be fan is the people that watch these shows. So as a teenager watching anime really has
So
you are watching them.
So he's saying the animes, like let's say High School DxD, are designed to be fan service. That's fine. But shows which, like, I guess Fire Force has attractive girls is bad? Because the primary focus is not the attractive girls? Is that what he's trying to say?
I would rather say the target audience is 15 through 17.
What is...
If you and since it's on, younger kids will watch it. And that's all.
I don't get the argument. Like, so a romance comedy is okay because it's about romance, and therefore you're going to have spicy scenarios. But a bunch of people fighting fires and trying to save lives with superpowers, that's no, you can't have subgenres. You can't have romantic scenes and embarrassing scenes. Really? So Kill la Kill is what, the worst show ever? Because it has people with skimpy outfits?
I don't think he watched it.
This
He
is...
would have brought it up if he had watched it.
I don't know. This is weird.
Stream kind of did, but not exactly. But
What the hell? By the way, what the hell was the picture of a frickin' river? What was that all about? Did anyone catch that?
Analogy
I don't...
we missed.
I was like, what the heck am I looking at?
a little bit for it. Understood why, you know? As a teenager, yeah, there was some fan service things that I enjoyed, but I was a kid, and looking back on it,
Wait a second. So when you were younger, it was fine.
I was right. It's okay until you're 18, and then you become a pedophile.
What?
This fuckhead.
Get a therapist, man.
For fuck's sake.
You need a therapist.
When I was watching episode 11 of Neon Genesis Evangelion, and Shinji walks into the bedroom of Rei, and he catches her naked. Oh, it's okay then.
Get the fuck out of here.
So either a therapist, or if you probably need a therapist because you don't have a proper father who talks with you about these things and how they really naturally work. Because all the shit you hear from all these activists online are bullshit. They're all bullshit. The manosphere stuff is also bullshit. It's just the other bullshit.
I'm so lost. This is so silly.
There's reality, and you have not been taught about.
All right, here's Chris Tutu one more time. Thank you, sir. We can just disregard his clearly biased opinion. I'm not sure what his bias is anymore. I'm just confused. He misrepresented his argument and falsely accused other anime of false allegations. He's uneducated. That's part of it. I think
He is sexually repressed.
I don't want to say that.
Repressed, therefore he is still embarrassed about his sexuality,
I don't want to say that because it's possible he's not, and he knows sexuality so much so that anything that detracts from that is bad. So, this is partially sexual, therefore it's pedophilic or whatever his reaction might be.
I stand by what I said. He doesn't even know what pedophilia is.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And why is the main character on the left? Why do we constantly zaps? I think that is sexual exploitation of a minor.
I'm not sure what to deduce here because he's sort of just
look at these half-naked men here, and they're not. This is not okay, man. This is not okay.
All right. Let's keep
all we're burgers.
Kind of
The cat
enjoyed
as
more
well.
of the adventure, the writing, the storytelling, the world building, and then of course the build-ups to the fights and the animations. But then as I watched more and more anime and got older, I started to realize that there is a lot of anime out there that relies strictly on fan service. I'm not even talking about fan service animes. I'm talking about actual action adventure fighting animes.
So wait a second.
Wait. One Piece and Fairy Tail solely rely on boobs? That's what you're saying?
Well,
they have no story, they have no engaging story, no engaging characters at all.
It's as if it's a trope
We need to have a
across.
talk with the people who actually read this stuff.
Well, it's as if it's a trope across all of the genre. It's like prevalent everywhere that there are women who are attractive that like showcasing their bodies. It's like this is a natural element of life. And it doesn't matter if it's in a romantic concept or an action-oriented scenario or whatever. It's like, dude, yeah, women exist. They flaunt their bodies at times. It's visually appealing. It's sexually appealing. There's all kinds of wonderful interpersonal dynamics you can play with. And you can use comedy as well. You can use drama and comedy at the same time. And he's complaining that it exists or certain genres use it not the way other genres do. I don't know. It's almost like he's discovering his answer as he's explaining, oh, this is bad, but everyone does it. You're like, oh, okay. So now that he has a standard, whatever that standard is, he can then address fairy tale or fire or whatever show. Just say, okay, look at how the one that does it good or well. Now let's look at Fire Force and why is the design of Catgirl, the pyromaniac person, bad. This would have taken an afternoon. Like, let me watch another show where there's girls. I'm like, okay, wow, they did it well, or wow, they didn't do it so well. And you're like, oh, it's not a big deal. Yeah, you're right.
If he only wants to see older women that look sexy, does he have an Oedipus complex?
Well, that's pushing.
I'm going full armchair now.
That is really Freudian. To go
look, he apparently had no father who told him how sexuality really works. He seems sexually repressed. He is embarrassed at his age about his own sexual reactions to completely natural things. And he likes older women.
Maybe
that doesn't sound. That is not a healthy combination.
Maybe if Tamaki was not a C cup, maybe she was like flat. Maybe it would be okay. Is that the thing? Like, is it just breasts?
No, then he would have some point of calling it pedophilia.
I guess, but like, what's the problem with attractive girls that know they're attractive?
When the character sheet it's 17, then it's pedophilia.
Oh.
When the character sheet on the exact same looking picture says it's 19, it's okay.
All right, fair enough. Let's go with 17 is bad. It's all I can think. Everything else is jibber jabber.
Our fan service, and it's like, who is the target? Can't be kids, you know. So I started to realize this is either for unsupervised young teens or
unsupervised.
Dude,
what
okay,
the?
Okay. You need to learn. Like here it becomes important that we distinguish what we mean when we say kids, because you say teens, then there's young teens, there's late teens. And that's why I said 15 to 17. With the scene he shows us now, probably not 15 to 17, probably above age. Like after 18, early 20s. If you say kids, that encompasses everything down to 5-year-old. I don't think most of these shows are made for 5-year-olds. My Little Pony is made for 5-year-olds. But you probably watched it.
Unsupervised kids. What is this guy implying? That kids are just so tech savvy they can just watch these adult or young adult
Smart. Kids are so tech savvy, and adults right now, adults in quotation marks, are so dumb that they give their kids smartphones with full internet access, unlimited, and they share gore in our schools. That is a major problem right now in German schools. They share around things like live leak stuff. And
but this has nothing to do with anime.
I don't know, Rotten.com still exists, but anyone who still remembers that website, stuff on that level.
This has nothing to do with manga, anime, or the content they're in. This is just bad parenting. I agree. Parenting is an issue, but why are we talking about anime is going too far?
Yeah. And look, you video maker, you complained that you got embarrassed by seeing stuff having stuff on your screen that you got embarrassed by your mother coming in. First off, how old were you when you watched that? Is that still happening? That's an important question. And if that is the case, the show is not for you. It's not for your age. You are not ready when that's the case. When you get embarrassed of your mother walking in by what animation you watch or what video game you play, that game is not yet for you. And your parent should take it away from you because you are a child mentally. You're not old enough.
Okay.
So bad parenting has somewhat of a point. But they're not made for unsupervised kids. It's just that unsupervised kids watch it. which is a
adults
parental problem.
can't talk to women. Like, if you are in your 20s and you don't know how to talk to women, you cope by watching Dress Up Darling. And in a way, it does kind of ruin anime.
Which was written by a woman.
I'm not seeing the logic here, because if I can't talk to women in my 20s, I will watch an anime on how to talk to women. Like, what?
No, not really. Also, that's not everyone's a Kuma, you know.
This is going a bit off script. What is he?
So why does he know that anime but couldn't name anything at the beginning?
Why are we attacking fans and characterizing them as people who are socially inept? Like, what does this have to do with anything?
Because that's the scapegoat.
Yeah, but who can, like, cats don't watch anime. They're, stupid. Like, yeah, cats are dumb. I agree. But what's that have to do with the topic? People are dying. Babies are being born. Like, yeah.
P-Life in the chat says, fun fact, that guy would defend the 15-year-old sexification in Western shows like Velma. Do you base that on other things on his channel? I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, but whatever.
I'm a bit confused, but somehow this connected in his brain. But so, okay, sure.
For me, the target audience are these like perverted weirdos. The majority of anime being created are designed for these perverted weirdos.
Okay, let's just assume that we're all perverted weirdos. Let's just go with that, okay?
Oh no, yeah, everyone who is aroused by big boobs, which evolved to arouse. That's why they're big. They don't need to be that big to produce milk. The size is completely irrelevant for that.
Yeah, this is saying if you like looking at 17-year-old girls who are sexually and visually attractive, you're a perverted weirdo.
Okay, so the relevant question here is, do you look at them because they're 17? Or do you look at them because they have D cups? If you can't answer that straight, you have a problem.
As I said before, if you do a Google search of her character, visually she's a very well-designed character. If you're talking about color scheme and outfits, she has multiple outfits. So there's nothing wrong with watching or observing and appreciating a design of the female form and fashion and color and light and shadow and all the other optics that you like for whatever reason. And you could be a pervert, you could not be a pervert. But to accuse others of saying, oh, you're liking the thing for the wrong reasons. This is where we get into the bias problem of fandom, where it's like you don't see what I see, what's really there, what I believe is what's really important, because you're a lowly life form. You don't have the sophistication, you don't have the tastes that I do. And
you don't understand that Lorga did nothing wrong.
Yeah, this is the kind of elitism that I don't say I get pissed off at anymore, but you heard about it back in 90s, and this is the superior genre or the superior iteration of the genre. It doesn't matter. Pick comic books, pick video games, pick whatever. This is the elitism that he's not even aware he's doing. And he's just jumping around saying, oh, this is bad. You can't do this because this is designed for titillation. It's like, you know what? Everything is designed to titillate you in some way to attract you for a 22-minute show about people fighting fires in a magical land where there's this religion running around and there's this evil organization. Like there's all these things going. You need to give me hooks, whether it's visual or audio. I don't care. And if you're going to put attractive girls on the screen and attractive boys and men fighting with superpowers, I'm going to be interested for what's going on, the logic, how does the power work, what are they doing, does the animation reflect that very cool in a visual way, in an audio way, is the music awesome, does it connect, are the poses, are the scenarios, is the lighting, like when I see Batman and he's up on a building and the moon's behind him and it's dark and the lightning cracks, like, whoa, that looks cool. It doesn't have to be sexy. It could be. You could put Catwoman next to him. That'd be even more. It'd be an extra element of attractiveness.
It's only okay when it's a dominant muscle girl Mikasa in a sports bra.
Apparently,
Then
yeah.
it's okay.
That's
Only
fine.
then it's okay.
When it's Mikasa,
Which
it's
says a lot.
okay. Because he watched...
That combination,
Yeah.
dominant muscle girl, that says a lot.
At least we can say he watched the show, right? So it's like, oh, he knows the show, so he could talk about it, and it's okay. But he cannot criticize properly or accurately Fire
and
Force.
to just sum this up, tits are made for titillation. The words are related for a reason.
All right.
And
Here,
if you really want to know, they're mimicry for the buttocks. Because we go up right now, we don't walk anymore. We don't walk on all fours anymore. And that means the butt is not at eye level anymore. Do you see the problem? And that's why the fatty tissue on the chest developed. That is one mimicry for the butt cheeks, because there are you can make certain you can frame photographs of women in a way where you can't tell whether the crack that you see is the boob crack or the butt crack. You can't tell. The second reason for the fatty tissue is it is mimicry for what's the word, for lactating breasts, which happen during pregnancy or after pregnancy in order to feed the child, which indicates this woman is fertile. They indicate fertility. The whole reason there is this extra fatty tissue around the milk ducts is all for mimicry, to show, to signal, I am fertile. Please notice me. They exist for notice me.
I was just thinking of prison school, and someone mentioned it in the chat. I was like, yeah, that sounds familiar. You don't know, prison school is this guy. He's the dean, I think, and he's into the asses. Anyway, let's continue. Here's the Copper Owl. Be me. Refuse to talk to women because they're women. I mean, that's fair. You don't have to talk to women. That's up to you for obvious reasons. Anyway. Oh, we got a donation. Gotta read that one from Tyler Preston. Thank you, Tyler. Hope you're having a good evening. The job at My Dress Up Darling, okay, I haven't watched that, so I'm not sure, has me remembering how Shafrilous productions of being an incel fantasy. What about this romantic comedy has these normies so pissy? Did it murder their entire family or something? I don't get it when we're talking
Which
about
one?
My Dress Up Darling.
Oh.
I don't know.
Never saw it.
I haven't seen it either. But I'm assuming that he's referring to those the consumer, whatever you want to call those guys who can't talk to women in their 20s. And I'm saying, you know what? If you have a social anxiety issue or you just have not interacted with people for whatever reason in your education, like some people just go through education without talking to people because they're too busy. I mean, that's life. And if you're interested in anime or any kind of hobby, which is like just by yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, your social skills are lacking, but you know, people like to get ahead and people like to let off steam, and watching shows, reading books, playing games, that's the way to do it. So yeah, get out here and there, develop a social skill, talking to people. It's different for everyone. Some people, they got over anxiety in front of groups when they were 14. I got over mine when I was 17. So, you know, it's different for everyone. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, later in life having that problem. You just, if it becomes an issue, then yeah, definitely deal with it. But I'm not going to accuse people of being repressed perverts because they like watching an anime about romance. That's silly.
About like saying, yeah, I'll watch anime. Not any of the weird ones though. I watch the good anime. I shouldn't have to say that. And it's because
Name one.
What is he talking about?
He's just talking about embarrassment again. When you say, oh no, I only watch the good anime, what is? You name one.
Yeah,
You.
is it
Because
genre?
You haven't so far.
Is he comparing genres or comparing things within a genre?
No. He's just referring to the embarrassment thing again. If you need, then scroll back a bit.
I know, but I bet he's only addressing shonen or popular anime. That's good, according to him, whatever that means.
I think he's mistaking popular for good.
Well, if he's watching, I wouldn't say Fire Force is particularly popular. It is got made into an anime, so it's going to be watched.
He only knows recent stuff and Neon Genesis.
I don't know. This is silly.
You know that anime is catered to perverted, socially outcasted weirdos. And I got
No, it's catered to everyone. There's something for everyone in manga and anime. Old women watch anime and read manga in Japan. It's so prevalent. It's
and dude, this was a reference to No Game No Life. I don't know if he's aware of that. That anime has some raunchy scenes in it, but it is damn well written. Like, holy shit, everyone's waiting for another scene.
Almost as if the elements of ecchi or sexual scenarios are present in every anime.
Yeah. And they're just there for laughs.
Mostly, yeah.
Mostly.
Proof of this, I know the iFunny comment section isn't the best evidence, but this guy posted a meme on iFunny, and I saw this meme on Twitter too, and I was cooking people on Twitter for that too, but this guy posted this meme on iFunny, and then leaves a comment saying, "The consequences of normies getting involved with anime has been catastrophic. Normally I'm up for gatekeeping, but I'm sorry that not enjoying naked children on my computer screen makes me a normie." Like, if
Define children.
17-year-old girls are not children. I don't...
Teenagers.
Yeah.
that makes me a normie, I guess I'm glad to be normal. But the term normie is also...
Like, the words we use in... Because teenage is... It implies everything from 10 to 19.
Oh, really?
That's if you just look naively at the word. The German words we use is Kind for child. And then we have, before we go into adult, Erwachsen, which means grown out. So it's literally the grown up or the grown out person. And what we use instead of teenager is Jugendlich, which means youth-like. Because you're not youth anymore. You are not adult. You are youth-like. You are in the process of coming out of youth. There are youthful aspects about you still, but you are not a child anymore. You are something greater than a child, but not yet an adult. And that is an important distinction that some assholes, and those are real pedophiles, are trying to erode. And they try to erode it in various ways. One is to reduce or do away with the age of consent completely. And the other is to, as someone in the chat had pointed out correctly, I think it was Copper Owl, is that they also try to infantilize 20-year-olds so that they can tell that, oh, they're all kind of like children. They're not really developed because the brain isn't fully developed until 25, which is true technically. But they use that as an excuse to then say, oh, then they're all children. And then it would be okay again to have, like, do the things with people who are 10 years younger than you, who just got into puberty and are completely confused because their brains are just doing fireworks all day. There is something horrible going on. And in the best of interpretations, this guy that we're watching doesn't know. He is a useful idiot who himself is confused by all the propaganda because nobody ever talked to him right about how reality really works.
I wish we could point exactly to where he's confused because I don't know where he's getting this nonsense. It sounds as if it's a combination of sources and he's just sort of trying to make sense of it by spewing
to me, it sounds like the average SJW, the sex negative feminism. That's what it sounds like to me.
It's something there. Yeah, I don't know because apparently girls who are in their teens can't be sexy. And
because sex negative feminism is specifically targeted at good-looking, mature girls and women. Everybody who looks good is targeted by sex-negative feminism into covering up, into setting unrealistic standards or unrealistic expectations or looking unrealistic despite women looking like that. There are women who look like that. And there are a lot of them who look like that. But the ugly, self-hating feminists are jealous of that. And because they can't look like that, or they're too lazy to look like that, just put in some work, they have to tear everyone else down. Because only when everyone is as ugly as them, or when you're not allowed to find the objectively sexy women sexy anymore, then they can get attention. Because they are the ones who are allowed to be looked at and be found sexy. That's the weird, crazy logic and strategy they pull. And apparently it works for some men that fall for this stuff. It's also why we see this horrible change in advertisement and censorship as well. That's coming from there. It was sex-negative feminists who tore down advertisement campaigns for a gym in London because they claimed that the woman on the picture looked unrealistic. Well, she was the one who attended that gym. This is also why they cast all these pretty women for motion capture and in video games in the West, and then they uglify them.
Women at gyms look different than normal women.
They make their jaws bigger and all of this shit.
All right. Here's there's a cool name. Pilaf. Hey, how's it going, sir? Normies start to Nices. The local...
Notice. I think you wanted means notices. Notice.
Start to notice? Normies start to notice the localization propaganda? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's that bad.
Okay.
And that is why we're getting changes now. That's why now actual backlash happens. And by the way, these are the same people who went on about when people didn't say what they wanted to hear. Free speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences. Well, here's your consequences. You're not localizers anymore. We replaced you with robots.
Yeah, suck it. Also, if I could say one thing about the word normies, like basically normies doesn't mean normal people, it just means the sheep.
Yeah, sheeple.
The sheeple, yes.
A euphemism for sheeple. The dumb people.
The consumers, in other words.
So we are more than 2/3 done, I'd say, and he's really showing his colors. It's kind of sad, as I was hoping for examples that he would compare, which is what a logical person with an argument would make. He would go, oh, look at this anime, look at that anime in the same genre, apples to apples, here's some titillation there, and go, this is good, this is bad, and here's why. That's all you have to do. And go, yep, anime, this big popular anime, pick one, is going too far because of this scene. And I'm like, okay, that's an argument. It's not a good one. I don't agree with it, but at least it's an argument. This is just... I was going to say...
I'm just like... yeah, sorry, go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, he's just accusing fans of being perverts. And I'm like, everyone's a pervert, dude.
Projection.
If that's what you want to say, then everyone's a pervert who are watching all of the anime, because there's always going to be some sort of human interpersonal reaction that involves sexuality. It's not a big deal.
Oh no. Smart. It's fine if you watch Faye Valentine because she's 30.
Okay.
Because she looks old. She looks like an old woman.
Is she the space age equivalent of a vampire Loli? Because she was frozen for decades or 100 years or whatever it was. And then she comes out, she's still 20-something, 30-something.
Yeah, but she's of age, so it's
she's
okay.
Of age?
She's drawn like she's 35, so it's okay.
All right. Anyway.
Dumb. Just dumb.
We are 2/3 through. We could stop because we know what this guy's colors. Do you want to keep going, guys?
I want to push through.
Okay.
Onward!
That tend to be outcasts. Like, service is that it does seem a bit excessive at times. And then it bleeds into like the actual good animes because they're like, oh, if we just add boobs every now and then, it'll keep the people entertained. And you
call Naruto good.
And
then you have a problem with the running gag of the sexy no jutsu, which is also used for good reason at some point.
Since day fucking one, dude.
It's bleeding into the good anime. Yeah, episode 1. It's the hook.
Also, I caught that it's like it said that people that use the term normies tend to be the outcasts. No, more and more we're seeing that it's the other way around. That the people that fall under normies sometimes are the outcasts
I have this
that don't
strange.
know any better.
I have this strange feeling that the actual Japanese who watch this stuff don't think about it as much as these kinds of people do. Like they just don't care.
It's just a joke.
It's almost as if the Japanese are more mature because they're exposed to reality more.
Yeah, it's like if you're in.
They're not. May I?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's an element because they also complain about violence, quite like like the Christian moms. So the violence thing works exactly the same way, and the difference between Western, especially United States animation and even Hollywood, is that violence doesn't really have consequences, especially not for main characters. Violence is just there. Things explode. You shoot the guns, whatever. Maybe there are scratches, but nobody's really impaired ever. There's no broken bone. It's extremely rare. Or it happens to a side character who's gonna die anyway.
I was
like
gonna
on a comical fashion. But there's not really consequence to violence, especially not in children's media that comes from the US.
I was gonna say
In Japan,
it's so prevalent that the Japanese may take it for granted, so it's not a big deal, and they see so much of it the same way the French or the Italian might take wine and cheese for granted because there's just so much. They've had so much of it. They know it like the back of their hand. So when they see this stuff, it's like, oh, wow, a girl. Oh, they might have exaggerated curves. Oh, my goodness. It doesn't bother them. It shouldn't bother them.
Let me finish the violence equivalence. Is in Japan, you look at Japanese animation, kids animation, when violence happens, there is more often than not a realistic, unless it's a super comedy, there's a realistic amount of injury that impairs the character who got it. In Ranma, there's lots of comical fighting, but when injuries happen, somebody limps. Somebody has trouble. It really hurts. My favorite example is a girls' anime for preteen girls. God, I always want to accidentally say the wrong name, and that's very embarrassing. Doremi. It's like 3 little magic girls that got witch stuff. Basically, it's basically the nice version of. God, what was it? The horrible one where all the girls die.
Oh boy.
Magica? Madoka. So the nice version of Madoka for like 8-year-old girls. So you have the three girls, it's the pink one, the green one, and the blue one. The blue one is the nice one that cares a lot, and there's this. She is into that boy who plays soccer, who plays football, and he gets an injury in the training game before the big game, and she can't tell that she knows magic. Of course, it's forbidden, and she wants to help him. And the problem is, healing magic isn't just wave your magic wand and bam, healing spell. No, it's good old school consequence magic. You can't heal the injury, you can only transfer it. And she, therefore, transfers the injury from his injured leg onto herself. At the end of the episode, it's not directly shown. He plays his game the next day, and she limps home alone into the sunset. It's visual storytelling. Injury has consequences. Violence has consequences. Like it's not malicious violence, but there is still consequence for horribly inflicted force. Let's call it that. And that's all over. Like you when you're a kid and you watch that, you understand. Oh, okay. Being careless or being fighting actually hurts. It's not just superheroes flying around and being awesome. And yes, I know those also have their moments, but it's much more, let's say, clean, because a lot of superheroes have powers of invulnerability of some sort, that they sustain silly amounts of damage, because otherwise every episode would be over quite quickly. Japanese children's TV, like many old European children's TV, violence has consequences, and so they're used to it. And there's a similar thing about this stuff. They're much more used to it. When you have a more mature society, and I mean mature in the sense of you're not completely afraid about certain topics, you can talk about them, and you know when it's time to talk about them. Then it works. When you got so prude that you are so afraid of violence that you can't show the consequence of violence, including blood, and you can't or censor out that the parents of Naruto died, that they're now just gone in the localization, which is the case in the German localization, by the way. If you're that prude, and then also get prude about sexuality, then to this level, then your society falls ill. Then you become man-children. This guy is a man-child. He thinks only the Kumas he makes fun of are man-children, but he himself is also a man-child. He's just a different kind of man-child. And this is something that needs to be rectified.
All right,
we need to get back to talk and mature at the right time in the right place.
All right, here's a good or interesting super chat from Chris Tutu again. Thank you, sir. I think he created a chimera of different opinions. He pulled together a collection of varying views and fused them together for his unique opinion. I don't know. I mean, it's a bit too nuanced for him to have his own. And at the same time, it sounds too general, like, oh, these are just pedophiles. It's like, you got that from somewhere. You can't make that deduction yourself. He's not intelligent enough and deductive from his limited understanding of anime and manga to make that conclusion. So, yeah, I don't know. It's sad that he went this way without looking at the broader picture, without even addressing, oh, this is in other anime. Let me look at those other anime. Because he clearly did watch other anime that had these elements. And he didn't draw the dots together and go, wait a second.
Are you sure he did? Because so far he's mainly just putting scenes together. After he showed that much ignorance about things he talked for very long about, I don't think we can trust him on showing any show.
He knows the tropes exist in other genres. He's just not connecting the dots to assess them appropriately you would within one genre. He's just going, well, there's nudity or there's implied sexuality in all these stories. You're like, and what does that mean? It seems to be a natural element of human behavior that you're just uncomfortable with certain genres, but you're okay with in other genres, which doesn't make too much sense to me. Now, if it was a story about a wholesome slice of life and all of a sudden there's this random scene of nudity or violence, that would be shocking. That would be like, whoa, but that's what nudity and violence is. And if that's what the author wanted to tell, then fair enough. But it would still be shocking to the average viewer because that's what the point of nudity and violence does.
Here's also a specific thing. He's complaining about Naruto, I think it's a fan name of the sexy no jutsu version of Naruto.
Yeah.
And he complains about that, being completely culturally ignorant about why that joke fits. It's not just played for laughs in a teenage shonen anime. It is also he is possessed, or rather the containment vessel of a fox demon, a kitsune. The kitsune appears, as previously mentioned, to in deceptive manner transforming into human shape in order to seduce humans, to manipulate them and to exploit them. So turning male or female is part of what they do. Naruto does this because this is the cultural, the mythological reference. That's why the joke fits. There is reason for that. Again, there is reason for it. There is a reasonable justification. It's not just done for, let's sprinkle water on the shirt of the girl in the horror movie before she's killed. It is reason for
That's kind of like the same comparison to Tamaki being the fire cat transformation.
Yeah.
That's her persona, that's what she's interested in, that's her ability.
Yeah, she's a Nikomata reference.
It's as if the writers were giving her this entire element as part of her character. Wow. Seems like there's some substance behind the boobs.
I watch tens of thousands of episodes of anime, and I have no clue on Japan at all.
I completely watched all these shows, and they mean nothing to me.
You could have at least, even without being into Japanese mythology or anything, you could have picked up on things if you actually watched that much, because you would have come across these themes repeatedly, because these things are some of the, especially the kitsune is one of the most well-known Japanese folklore stories.
Okay, we are 9 minutes in, almost 9 minutes in. Let's keep going.
You know, I'm a straight man. I like boobs. I don't like cheap boobs.
Liar.
I don't like boobs thrown into my...
I like
Cheap?
boobs
Also,
across
when
the
they
board.
do grow naturally to that size, they're cheap.
I don't know what cheap boobs are. Does anyone know what that means, implies?
Cheap maybe boobs he can easily get or easily look at. This man should never go to a beach. Never.
Cheap boobs.
You should be kept away from a beach, because apparently you can't control yourself.
Are boobs a commodity, that there's expensive boobs? I don't understand.
The plastic
Dear
ones are
God.
actually quite expensive.
High quality boobs. I mean, I'm all for high quality boobs.
There is very high quality plastic available today for boobs. Also, some women just need them for prosthetics, but they're pretty expensive. So maybe he means that he just wants. It comes together. You remember when in the beginning he complained about the boob physics, the boob animation that was moving too much? It comes together. He wants expensive plastic boobs that don't move.
in animated characters.
We're coming full circle.
What?
He wants the $5,000 boob job.
Yeah.
That is just hard plastic.
We got to get the animators to animate the fake boobs properly in anime, so it looks fake.
Ugh,
I mean,
it hurts just hearing that.
I'm curious what that would look like, but I mean, go for it.
He never got a boob snuggle either, like Usopp does here. This is such a sad man.
I mean, at this point, if you want to make that argument, TA strip club, dude. I'm sorry, it's just that I've heard so many people be like, oh, you don't like fan service? What, you don't like boobs? What, are you gay? And it's like, no, I just like real women.
They're not
like
real
real
women. They're characters on a screen, you numb. What is this argument? I like real women too, but I also like anime. What's wrong with liking things differently? What is this argument?
I'm still not sure about whether I should believe him that he likes big boobs. I'm not sure.
If he actually
He
likes
too
women,
much about big boobs before.
if he likes just like independently in my brain, if he actually likes women for whatever reason, why can't he appreciate them in anime? Like, what's the problem? Is it the pastiche? Is it because it's a representation? Like, what is the problem?
Character sheet, it says 17. If it said 25, it would be okay.
Okay.
And how can I want to know if you put any like mature looking anime girls next to each other and you have to guess the age, how often will you be correct?
Yeah, but this is like saying, well, in real life there are cars. I love cars in real life. I don't like them animated. And you're like, well, I mean, that's fine. You don't have to like animation, but that means you don't deserve to criticize animated cars because you automatically are biased towards something else related to cars. So we shouldn't trust you. It's
his frustration that he has to see ID of the girl to know whether he is allowed to like her.
Yeah, this is kind of the argument with manga. Like the people who read the manga know more than the people who watch the anime because there's more content in the manga. The same argument applied to the visual novel or the web novel. The person reading the web comic or the novel knows more than the manga reader, that knows more than the anime watcher because there's more content there. It may not be visual, but there's more content, so they have more knowledge. But that doesn't mean the manga's worse. It's a manga. You can't compare the manga to the visual novel. They're different things. Yes, it's the same story, represented in completely different ways. So the same example is of women. Well, in real life, there's all this tactile information and visual information and smells and all the senses for physical objects in reality, like women. So why would I use that same criteria for animation of women? That's silly. You wouldn't do that. It's worse than apples and oranges.
I think his whole I'm not gay, I like big boobs is now just showing more of his sexual repression.
Yeah, if you give me the argument I like big boobs, then it's like done. I'm with you. So do I. I like them small, I like them big, I like them, as an idea, as an evolutionary back of my brain unconscious idea. I don't understand, but I like them anyway. So why are you not liking them on the screen? Is it because it doesn't have the full texture of senses that your eyes and ears and hands and tongue and all the other senses can appreciate? Is that it?
He is confused about what children and what mature teenagers are. I think that's his problem. He's that confusion where he can't distinguish anymore between a physically mature body and a child, and therefore he gets frustrated because he can't tell just by looking, is this person of age or not. He has never been to a club because he would have come across a bouncer who asks his ID. Because, by the way, men who come of age, they're also asked ID because guess what? You're not allowed in a club if you're not of age because there's alcohol being served. At the very least because of that.
Well, I'm going to go back to a typical case of philosophy that this person clearly has never read about, and not too many people do, of a token and type. So the instance of a thing and the idea of a thing. And he's clearly saying, well, look, I'm a warm-blooded male of women, but when it comes to another instance of a pastiche of a woman, that's where I draw the line. And I'm like, why? You can't like dolls, you can't like sculptures, you can't like paintings, you can't like all the other iterations of a woman or visual depictions of women? Why? Why can't you do that? What's stopping you? So I'm a little I wouldn't say offended. I just feel like he's drawn a line in the sand and he doesn't even know what he stands for. And he doesn't even know what that means anymore. If he's going to criticize art.
I'm waiting for Tyler Preston to show me, give me some confirmation on what he just said.
All right.
Because that would be
funny.
All right, well, let's keep going.
Having sex in real life, which makes me think of another point. A lot of these people refer to women as 3D women. That's how out of touch of reality.
No, that's not out of touch. That's for distinction.
That's normal explanation when you're talking about reality. You say 3D.
Yeah. So you went around in the scene for the last 15 years, at least.
He's never heard the lingo 3D or versus 2D.
Uh-huh.
Really? Wow. He's worse than Normie. He's just dumb.
reality these people are. They see an animated character and a woman, and they think the only difference between the two is a series of dimensions.
Can we stop? This is a farce now. This is just like we are talking to a child.
No, we need to understand this insanity.
This is retarded. The guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. He's reducing everything to this one catchphrase he's never heard of before.
Okay, to play devil's advocate, I've never seen a 3D used this way either.
What?
Well, it's terminology, but you don't have to know it.
Referring to real women, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, this is a lingo in anime. Actually, there's a lingo in manga as well about, I'm a 2D lover, so he loves 2D games. He loves manga more than he likes 3D people because, I don't know, he likes reading more.
It's a similar term like meat space.
I was going to say, just say real people.
Yeah.
No, Ginga, because one, it's shorter. Two, it's for a direct distinction that was mainly used on image boards.
Yeah, when we talk about media,
like where you can look for where 3D is a term that means for like live action pictures or cosplay.
Right. So we get the terms waifu and husbando from 2D worlds, and we translate that to 3D. Oh, what if they were real? They'd be the waifu. They'd be the real character of that person, or that real person of that character, rather. So the lingo is not hard to grasp, but he's reducing it to this, which is silly. And this is just lingo. This is just to refer to real people. This is silly.
He's reducing it. I'm just floored by it.
Yeah.
3D women, that implies that there's an even more sinister option. 4D women. You know how TikTok started
No.
the whole like Family Guy double clip with like sub.
Also you're racist now against 4D women.
This is a Neil deGrasse Tyson nitpick. This is stupid. There's no need to do this.
And all that. That's how I feel. It's almost like here's your 5 seconds of anime, booba.
You're again using the anime that has very good why she ages up. You are what is the word I'm looking for? Because my brain is really going downhill. At best, you're lying. I think you're lying. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just a miser.
Yeah, this guy's a snake.
Watching, please don't get.
Oh, by the way, this is the thing. He brings up Demon Slayer, but he couldn't name it as an anime he watched in the beginning, next to Attack on Titan.
Hey,
one of the greatest things to come out in recent years.
Yeah, he never did give those other two examples, did he?
What
a fucking hack. Grifter?
See you in the next 2 minutes. These people watching anime tits on their screen every 2 minutes or they'll get bored. Let's talk about the problem of the
projection.
Oh, here's Kill la Kill. Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
About time.
Problem of sexualization of young teens in anime.
No, it's young teens again. So you can make differentiation here. Now you jump to lolicon.
What? How does young teens equal lolicon?
What was her name? In Kill la Kill?
Oh, I don't know. I never watched. I only watched the first episode, then I stopped watching.
Was it the character we just saw?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ryuko? I think Ryuko or something.
Ryuko. Yeah, I think. Yeah, that could be Ryuko. I'm just horrible with names.
Yeah, it's probably Ryuko.
And I've just never seen it.
Yeah, Ryuko was not a young teen, and she was definitely not a loli. This is you are equating things that do not belong together. The 16, as he did before, the 17-year-old girl with D cups. If you like that when you're 18, that makes you a pedophile in his eyes. This guy is insanely dumb, maliciously dumb, and every time we get people making these arguments, it turns out they are pedophiles. Every single time. You can put up an alarm for that.
I would rather say he's just dumb. I think that's the most
I
obvious.
hope he's just dumb. I hope he's just dumb and regurgitating this shit and just embarrassed about himself liking boobs and surprised when, oh, this girl is also 17. Oh no. Why did I get a bowler? I'm not allowed to have a bowler because she's 17, but she has D cups.
Oh. Okay.
And then, but every time we see this, every time we see people making arguments that people who like big boobs on teenagers, without knowing they're teenagers, these people come out of the woodwork and say, you are a pedophile. And it turns out we found a lot of pedophilia or them actually having groomed teenagers coming out. Every time. Every single time.
Okay. Anyway.
So we now just need to wait until we hear someone informing us that this happened to him.
Let's not speculate. Let's just try and keep going.
I want to specifically young teens because we can all unanimously agree that the people that are into lollies are weirdos, right?
No.
The characters that do look like 7-year-old girls. I don't care how many thousand of years the plot says she still looks like 7, and you're still attracted to the fact that she looks like
That
she's
is
7.
an actual
and one thing I
kid.
realized about anime is that, yeah, they usually do portray teenage girls in a sexual manner, but I realize it's not because they're pedophiles or they want to, like, appeal to pedophiles, but because the target...
Wait a second. Are you trying to make the argument or trying to understand the concept of why someone draws women a certain way that they may or may not be appealing to a pervert of a certain denomination? Like, what is this argument? Like, I'm drawing women that are attractive that are in their teens that may appeal to pedophiles. Like, how do you know that? Maybe they just like drawing women, and they want an attractive looking woman in a certain outfit in a certain action pose. Like, what's wrong with character design? Like, what's wrong with that? Why would you think, oh, you're appealing to a murderer? Oh, you're appealing to a narcissist. Like, how do you gauge that? And even if I were, why is that bad? What if a narcissist likes broccoli and I sell broccoli? Like, what is this dumb argument? I shouldn't sell broccoli anymore because a pedophile might eat it? Like, what are you talking about? This is This is ridiculous.
Is this some form of cooties?
I don't know. What is he getting at? Where's the logic?
Literally supposed to be the age of those girls. Don't get me wrong, that doesn't make it right. I don't think you should be pushing softcore pornography on...
It's not soft. Do you even know what softcore porn is, sir? Have you ever watched a softcore porn? A curvaceous figure is not softcore porn. A big butt is not softcore porn. Very large but only partially covered breasts is not... Like, this is ridiculous. So
Bikini is not softcore porn.
Women in bikinis are like, you can't do that. You can't have women in bikinis. So every Miss America pageant since since it started would be softcore porn to this guy.
The beach is softcore.
The beach is softcore porn. Summertime is softcore porn.
The swimming pool is softcore porn.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, the kids shouldn't go to the swimming pool.
Summertime is
There's only
softcore porn.
softcore porn people.
This is crazy.
The swimming pool is literal pedophilia, man.
We're not even 2 minutes. Last 2 minutes, we're already crazy.
Fuck.
Can someone in chat tell us how much of this story Yoko is underage? Because we saw the ages earlier where after the time skip she's 21 and by the end she's 41. So I'm just like, how much of that is when she's 14? Let me know, please.
Oh, jeez. Okay, let's power through. We got more than 2 minutes.
But I mean, like, it's better than, like, ends up being what it is. I mean, like, if you're into watching sexualized, like,
Pedophiles would not be into this girl. They're not into... Look, dude. Pedophiles care less about the age of a character. They're not into numbers. They're into developmental stages. This girl would already be too developed for a pedophile to be into. Someone who's of age and violating the psychological maturity protection line that we draw legally is a problem, but still not a pedophile. If she did not have this waistline, not these hips, not that boob size, if she looked premature or very, very early puberty, like she looks like she's finished puberty already at 14, which some girls do. If she didn't look like that, if she looked premature, and somebody of age would be into that, or anyone would be into that, that would be an indication of pedophilia. Your numbers game does not by itself call pedophilia. That is where you got confused.
Well, I'm quite sure several years pass near the end. Like she's got to be at least in her 20s at the end. Like obviously when you first see her, she's 14. But I mean,
he showed it earlier. By the end of that series, she's 41.
Oh, really? I thought she was in her 20s. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
In the middle.
in the middle. The series ends with her at 41.
Oh, cool. All right.
He showed it in the video.
But I'm quite sure like there's a time skip between I think when what's his name dies and then he takes over.
That's the 7-year time skip that I mentioned. Yeah.
Okay. So she's 21. All right.
Sexual 15-year-olds, you are a pedophile. I mean,
No.
creepy young
Wait a sec. Let's just rewind that.
to pedophiles, which ends up being what it is. I mean, like, if you're into watching sexualized, like, 15-year-olds, you are a pedophile.
Okay, so let's say she's
The main problem is that she needs a talking to by her parents as to why she's dressing up like a whore. That's what
yeah. Let's say she's one of those immortal vampires that live for like thousands of years. Am I still pedophilic because she looks like an 18-year-old? Is that it? Like, why are we making the distinction between real life and anime post-apocalyptic world where there's magical robots and everyone's fighting mutants? Like, what is this? We can't have fantasies. We can't have magical settings in the future or scientific settings in the future. How does that make me a pedophile? Like, I want to know how that makes me a pedophile. Because there are women, as Whisp pointed out, that develop early, that have very big developments before they're 14.
The first girl I was with when I was 15, she was, I think, 4 weeks younger than me. Man, I couldn't believe it, man. That was everything, man.
Yeah.
Full size. Wow.
I,
Pity that didn't work out.
Yeah, I know. It just these things are like this is life, dude. If you've never seen girls in your young or late teens, I mean, good for you. But I would not use your experiences or whatever standard of reality to anime, especially fantasy anime, especially fantasy post-apocalyptic, God knows radiation and hormones and what's happening, to explain why women look the way they do, why men look the way. Look at all the other crazy shows from the 80s with robots and mutants, like Vampire Hunter D had all kinds of crazy demons. You got Fist of the North Star with giants, several times taller than a normal man, average height. I mean, do we go, oh, this guy's completely unrealistic? It's like, yeah, it's supposed to be. That's the point.
But none of these women are unrealistic.
I don't see why this is an issue, though. It's like, who cares? Yeah, you could have a 14-year-old who looks like an 18-year-old. That's not impossible to imagine.
I mean, if he at least brought us the Lucky Star argument, where all the 18 and 21-year-old girls are like 10.
Oh, well, that's an art style thing, yeah.
That he at least might be able to make a point, but he's not. He's misunderstanding the whole thing. Again, the legal line is drawn, the legal age line is drawn to distinct and protect the mentally, psychologically, emotionally not yet developed enough pubescents from adults who might exploit their confused state of development. That's what it is. If there is, so for example, if there is a 15-year-old who is a real pedophile, that happens, who then sexually exploits an 8-year-old, that would be real pedophilia. Both would be minors, but they're different kinds of minors. Maybe that helps understand the problem, if he will ever listen to this, which I don't think he will.
I
At least
doubt
not
it.
that long.
No, he won't.
All right, here's the Copperell one more time. Thank you, sir. Okay, place your bets as to when he's caught grooming. I'm not going to go that.
Next year.
Yeah. And by the way, just to highlight this, the legal age protection would not protect against that pedophilia. It would still be a crime. It would be the same crime. But that alone, that line in the sand, that we also mitigate with Romeo and Julia laws, where like if there's a couple and one of them then turns 18 and they've been together before and they're not that far apart from each other, we let them be. We don't persecute them as you're 18 now, you can't be together with the 17 or 16-year-old girl or boy anymore because you're now over 18 and that would make you a pedophile. No, that's what the Romeo and Julia laws are for, because you have this transitional period. Only when these gaps become too big, then it becomes a problem. We also already frown on the teenagers that are 17 that get together with 14-year-olds. That's already weird enough.
Okay, we got almost 2 minutes left. And, I could finish right now, but I guess you guys want to finish.
Yeah,
okay.
Almost done.
All right.
The real insanity is
Young
the head.
dudes like are into this stuff, and it's like weird to me, bro. Like if you're not 15, 16 or around that
That's
age,
not a young adult.
you're watching this stuff, bro. Like what are you doing with your
Wait a second. So you can't watch rom-coms or Puella, Magica, Madoka. You can't watch My Little Pony. You're just a pedophile. Okay? You just can't do it, or else you're a pedophile. There's no other option. Like what is this? What
Not
is
for
it?
you.
I can't watch stories for younger people or read them because they have cute people in them. Like what?
Here comes the problem. So because you're not allowed to watch these as an adult, you can't know what your teenagers are watching, and therefore they're watching the stuff that they're embarrassed by when you come into the room.
Can anyone watch this? I mean, if if I'm not 14 and I'm watching a show for 14-year-olds, is that okay? But if the show has like attractive women in it, that makes me what? Like a pedophile?
You turned 18, you're not allowed to watch Naruto anymore.
Oh yeah, I can't watch. Okay.
No Dragon Ball for Mexico.
No, fuck you. I was gonna say, it's like we can say what we want about the bronies, but I'm just like, the reason why the 2010s My Little Pony got so much attention is because a lot of veterans of the animation industry were behind it, and it ended up being a good show, just in general, detached from the stereotyping and all that. So, by sheer dumb luck, but it ended up being the case.
Like I still want to watch shows from the 80s and 90s that were for kids, like Gem and the Holograms. Is that make me I don't know, an 80s pedophile or something? Like what does that mean? And they were in I think end of high school, early college. I don't even know how old those girls were singing and dancing. So like what? I'm not following the logic here that if I'm above a certain age I can't watch a show.
Yeah, and look, this whole age bracket from 13, 14 to 18, so 4 to 5 years, that is the most tumultuous time in human development. And it is a very specific time that we can pinpoint. That's the special time, and there are fuzzy borders with all of that. We just put a boundary. People always say, "Oh, it's an arbitrary number you put there." Yeah, yes, it is sort of arbitrary, but we need to put some at some spot, and the numbers we chose seem to work pretty well. They're the product of centuries, if not millennia, of human development. And the German term is for this time, especially the later teens, also in a type of poetry people write during their time, is called Sturm und Drang, which means storm and drive. Like you're driven, like everything is tumultuous, and you just have all of these passions, and they create some of the greatest and most cringe poetry and art that we get in humanity. It's from that very time of development. Because after that, all of these things, they die down a little. So cherish that time. Don't let misers like this destroy it when you are around that age.
All right. Let's keep going.
Life. It's like, oh, they're just fictional children. They're not real children. What does that even mean, dude? Like, are you saying that if the power grid goes out nationally and you can't watch anime for like the next 2 days, you're going to go outside and like sexualize real children?
Oh my God, can we please stop watching this guy?
Wow.
What?
Wow. He's gone full circle. No, not full circle.
So because characters aren't real, and if the power goes out, I'm going to go watch younger kids because I'm a pedophile.
He's making the argument. Hey, this is actually a positive. He doesn't know that he just made a argument making this type of content because it keeps the pedophiles away from the real children.
Because you're watching Japanese anime, you're no longer pursuing. Oh my God, that is so stupid.
Yeah, but it kind of does make sense though.
Yeah, and well, there is a subgroup of pedophiles who do have a conscience, and I'm not talking about the maps. They don't. They're deceptive people.
Yep.
I'm talking about the ones who are aware that they are dangerous to children, and they are always the product of child abuse themselves, just like the monstrous types. And these types, they're scared. They want therapy. They want this gone. They don't want to be like that. And there's no research funded for this. These people want to get rid of that. They would be open up for experimental therapy and everything. The thing is, those types, they do use hentai, like this lolicon, in order to get off steam. However, the monstrous pedophiles that do act, that really act on their urges, and that have no qualms, that have no conscience, they only the leering types. And I know that leer, that horrible, creepy smile, grin, whatever you want to call it, that you see in media, because they really look like that. We've had a woman like that in my elementary school, and the principal knew about it. Several teachers knew about it, but the school kept quiet. That grin that you see on TV when you see pedophiles depicted, which is also one that you see in anime when they depict the creeps, they really grin like that. It's absolutely creepy, nightmarish. Anyway, those types, they don't give a shit about manga. They don't give a shit about anime. They use manga and anime censorship in order to virtue signal that they are the good types that would never touch children. They want to protect children. That's what they want you to think about them. And that's why I before said, because this guy's arguing exactly like that it's only a matter of time until we find child porn on his computer or some allegations against him. And I mean real child porn, the 3D type. And because when these people lose manga and anime, when that gets censored, they don't lose anything of value to them. So they can wonderfully virtue signal about that.
All right. Well, let's Let's try and keep. I'm really tempted to just stop watching. This is so stupid.
I understand. We're almost through. But I think it's important we got to this point.
Is that the way they argue it makes them seem like pedophiles as well. Like,
Here we go.
Instead of just saying, oh,
More
well, I
projection.
just find the lolly or the girl cute. I don't like sexualizing her. I just think she's cute, which I've heard some people say that. And
You equate the little girl to the mature demon. You are insane.
kind of weird, but a little bit more valid. But these people are like, no, I do sexualize her, but it's okay because she's fictional.
What are you talking about? What does that mean? I sexualize her. I didn't draw her. I'm just looking at her.
I didn't dress her.
What is this argument? I'm sexualizing a model or I'm sexualizing a doll. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. He goes to the beach and he thinks every girl that wears a bikini is sexualized.
Like, what is this? Like, what does it mean to sexualize a piece of art? Like, if I look at the Mona Lisa, how am I sexualizing the Mona Lisa? Or any portrait of a woman, let's say. What is that? Like, how do I do that mentally? Like, what am I doing in my brain? What's the step? I don't get this. Like, can I look at the wall and sexualize the wall? I should be able
I think
to.
reality sexualizes women.
I'm very confused. Like,
I don't
when
think
people
this guy can. I don't think this guy can step out the door.
Yeah, when we say we are sexualizing a character, that means the artist is drawing them in a provocative way with certain clothing and certain poses and etc. The audience isn't doing anything.
To him, a female standing there in a neutral pose with a neutral wide shot, full body frame, but in a bikini, that's sexualized to him. It's not being in a special pose with glistening sweat or other water with reflections, with illustrious sound or something, an exclamation. That's not that would be sexualizing. But that's not what we have there. He showed 4 girls standing there at the beach, neutrally. Menacingly, I suppose. SpongeBob meme incoming. They're standing there, sexualizing.
I don't like. Is this a mental
Sexually.
activity where I'm fantasizing? Like, what is happening? What is this? I don't get it. And if that's the case, how do you control someone from thinking? Like, what is this?
This is a guy who seems to have his own urges so badly under control. He projects that out, therefore wants all the girls to cover up.
I think no, he's using words he doesn't know. Like
no, he talks like a sexual predator at this point.
If it's using a word, I want him to know how it works. Like, you can't just say I am envisioning. Like, at least you're doing something, like an activity in your brain. It's a mental activity. It's like, great, okay, you're fine.
By this point, maybe Tyler Preston is right, because he found a cop where either admitted or was called a Muslim, and that is how the Muslims think about sexuality. That's why they put the women into the towels, because they think if they see a flock of hair or too much skin, that they can't control themselves and have to grape them. They get possessed by the devils, and then it just happens.
This is like,
so that we need to cover up all the women.
This guy read the Cole's notes of wokeism and didn't know what the hell he was talking about, and he's just using the words that people think are acceptable to use on the topics that he doesn't know what he's talking about. That's what this is.
An exposed ankle.
Like, I'm sexualizing SpongeBob, and I'm like, what does that mean? Like, how does that work?
They're standing there.
Like,
Sexually.
aren't his eyes like giant breasts? Can't you tell? Clearly, there's spheres.
I can't tell if Whisp actually made the SpongeBob reference I'm thinking of or not.
This is
menacingly.
This is
yes. Thank you. Okay, so you did. Thank you.
All right. This is my. Like, I'm just sitting here like, you are so. If this guy was like, you are so stupid. Like, you were just like, what are you talking about, sir? Please
don't let this guy near children.
I mean, of course not.
Okay.
What? And I gotta say, the weirdo that's obsessed with anime girls and is a social outcast is very true and real. And I don't care how many black teens that are socially outgoing that you know that also want.
Why are we talking about black teens? What are you talking about?
What?
Why are we talking about black teens?
Also censoring out a license plate. Okay.
Where did we go? How did we get on this topic?
So he knows how to censor. Come on, keep going. This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's just getting better.
It doesn't matter, bro. That's like, I know this black guy that's actually very social. Black guy that's actually very socially outgoing that also watches the same animes as me, and he's very cool. And that makes me not a loser by association. It's like, no, that's not how it works, buddy. He's doing it to be quirky. You're doing it because you depend on it. Okay.
What the fuck? What are you talking about?
What is going on?
That?
I have a friend who's black who likes the same hobby as I do, but he's okay because he's black. I do it because I rely on him to be. What the hell is this? Hey, Ginga, you like Dragon Ball, right? So I'm going to associate with you because you like Dragon Ball, and that's justifies my appreciation of anime or something. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, a bit of more than a reach there.
What is he talking about? I know a guy who likes a thing.
I'm telling you, the last 2 minutes of madness never disappoint.
At least you're not wrong, but
What is he talking? Like, why did it have to be black guy? Could it be anyone? No, it has to be specifically the black guy. But he's okay. He watches anime. It's all right because he's black.
It's okay when you have a black friend who enjoys anime. Then it's okay that you enjoy anime.
who the hell cares?
He watches the Loli channel or whatever it is. That's fine.
It's fine. Oh, look.
This
You have
is
the okay
so.
cooties now.
This is so stupid.
You get the black improvement, then it's okay.
Oh my god. Oh, I just want a drink. I want to relax and have a drink. This is so stupid.
Just a minute, Smart. Not even a minute.
We're almost there, and then the memes to calm us down.
Okay.
I don't know what that was, but to summarize my points, I think fan service in anime has gotten a little bit too excessive. I think
You're at the end of the frickin' video, and now you're making the initial hypothesis?
It's the same it was 30 years ago.
What is it? The opposite of the Hegelian dialectic. Let's just reverse everything. Let's make the synthesis at the start, and then...
No. His whole point was all the time that it's too much.
At least the title's actually part of the video this time.
He said he said the title. Amazing. At the end of the video. It's amazing.
Yeah, but it's been the same for the last 30, 40 years.
Okay.
This guy has no clue about anything.
it gets a little, and there's a lot of people that are using it as a means to kind of what anime is about. And I guess I wish there was a finer line in between what I would consider.
Every good thing needs to be gatekept
From
weirdos like you.
Which
Just like
is-
we need to protect Dungeons and Dragons and video games from the Christian moms, we need to protect all of these things from woke weirdos like you.
Which is
You
weird.
are the real creep.
Because he has a video.
Like video games from everyone, essentially.
Well, before we started the video, we saw his library on the screen, and he had a video on why gatekeeping is good. And I'm like, what the hell is he going to say how gatekeeping is good to him? What would he say? We got to gatekeep the what
Gatekeeping
from
is
the
good
what?
against the non-woke people.
I don't know. Like, what would he? Oh, we can't have any pedophiles watch the girly anime. Like, what? I don't know. You can't have girls watch the girly anime. It's too many girls watching it. That'd be bad. They'll get ideas of dressing attractively or some nonsense. I don't know.
Between that are real anime and fan service anime because
Real anime and what the hell? What are you talking about?
What is the difference between these two pictures?
Fan service anime?
How is one real and the other is fan service?
Hajimete no Gal is pretty much a story. It's a romance comedy. And
I need to hear this again. I can't believe what I just heard.
like what?
Sorry. I need to hear this again.
Yeah.
as a means to gatekeep because I think this is kind of what anime is about. And I guess I wish there was a finer line in between what I would consider real anime and fan service anime.
Didn't
They
he
look
just
the same.
Didn't he just say that Fire Force was a bad anime, but it's apparently a real anime?
The one on the left, which he calls real anime, that looks like a 15-year-old girl with big tits who is very, very lightly dressed. On the right, which he calls fake anime, is a girl that's drawn as if she's in her 20s, maybe late 20s even, and has her boobs pushed up by her clothes, like squished in. That is like, what the fuck? There's in levels of sex appeal, there's no difference between these two. They're both mature looking women. I don't know what the actual ages are of these characters. I have to guess by the type, by the drawing style.
I'm just confused because he spent the first half of the video talking about how Fire Force is this horrible, fan servicey anime, and now he's saying
real anime.
And now he's saying it's a real anime? Like, what?
Can somebody do you know the names of these characters and what age they are?
Yeah, that's I don't know her age. She's probably a teenager. That's Iris. I don't remember
Somebody in the
powers.
left and right.
Yeah, but there's this is the religion. Like, there's a religion in the Fire Force, and they're like trying to stop all the fires and all this crap. And they believe in some god. I can't remember.
Is she over 18?
I don't think so. I have no idea.
Brain Prince in the chat says both girls are 15.
All right.
So he's basically saying, by his own definition, left side pedophilia is good, right side pedophilia is bad.
I
What?
don't understand it. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, Tyler Preston says Iris is 16, same difference in this case.
All right. She's
It's beneath the legal age.
What's her name? I can't remember her name, but she's also, I think, in first year high school. So she'd be around 14, 15. But that looks like she's probably because the anime or the manga is so long, so she's probably in her 15, 16-year-old age.
Yeah.
So
boobs on the girl on the left are bigger than on the right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's an issue, but it's just.
No, it's just think it's so confusing. This guy makes no sense.
So apparently, even though it's a real anime, it's got bad pedophilia because the girl who's 17 controls fire and her clothes come off.
It doesn't work.
I don't know.
There's no sense to this guy.
I don't.
It's that the mental gymnastics are all the bones are broken.
This guy's a two-faced sheeple.
Because sometimes the fan service bleeds into the real anime
story. The fan service bleeds into the real. So he's just saying what he said before, which is that every anime has some degree of sexuality, fan servicey elements, which does not bleed. It's just present. Why would he say that? That doesn't make any sense.
He doesn't like references to reality in anime when they have any sexual connotation.
That's it. You can't have sex. You can't have any romance.
Any interaction with the other sex.
You can't have flirting. You can't have
no reaction.
Longing. You can't have dreams. You can't have desires.
Nope.
I mean, if you want to go buy something at the store, you're not going to be hungry, because that would imply a desire, a basal metabolism that, can't depict that. That's, it's too, I don't know, too dirty. What's the word for being hungry? It would not Puritan enough.
Maybe his parents once caught him masturbating when he looked at girls.
I don't know what to think. This guy is all over the place.
And now he's demanding that because that happened to him, everything that makes him masturbate must be banned.
Okay.
That would make more sense than what he said.
I don't know. It would be logical, at least.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's very lack of logic and reason. I mean, he could have used a different picture. I would have been fine if he put Neon Genesis up there. I'd be like, okay, fine. You think that's a real anime? Good for you. But you don't use the anime you were bashing like 10 minutes ago to say, it's a real anime. What? You just said it wasn't. All right.
And before he said that's pedophilia.
Yeah, it's real anime with pedophilia. Like, okay, buddy, whatever.
That's okay to watch now.
But it's
okay.
real. It's actual anime with
Big
value.
boobs are pedophilia. Okay.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay, we got 10, 20 seconds. Fucking.
Story written. It doesn't even have to have fight scenes. It could just be like a romance anime that's really well written and animated. But then what I end up getting is
like Hajimete no Gal, like the one on the screen right now.
Oh, it didn't play on my end.
Well, it's not a great romance, but it's a
and
romance.
Also, I don't want to be blended in.
You don't want to be blended in as a moron? Too bad.
Story, well written. It doesn't even have to have fight scenes. It could just be like a romance anime that's really well written and animated. But then what I end up getting is softcore hentai. And also...
No! Romance comedy is not softcore hentai. You do not know. You do not know what those words mean, sir.
This guy's never watched hentai, has he?
This guy's never watched anime. I don't care what genre. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what words mean. What is he talking? Like, how do you not know what hentai is? How? Have you seen nudity? That's nudity. That's for adults. That's not in kids shows. That's not in young adult shows.
I know. Because hentai is not advertised as popular media, popular anime. It's not on the popular anime lists. That's why he doesn't know any hentai. Because it's not advertised to him.
I don't actually look at those lists. I don't know what they're depicted as, but nudity is not in is not in young adult shows. It's not in shonen manga or anime. They do not have nudity. You might have censored it, and then they might be like a month later they'll release the uncensored version at like 8 o'clock on a Friday in Japan. That might happen. But it's few and far between. There might be a few seconds of a nipple or something, but that's it.
Yeah, and that was more a thing of 70s, 80s anime, where Japan was less prude than it is now.
Oh, that's
in that regard.
You
had that repeatedly happen in Ranma, and there was nobody had a problem.
Yeah, that was because everyone was like being dunked in water and transforming into like different beings and humans and beasts and whatever. So yeah, that was.
Yeah, but you could have also drawn it without the nipples exposed all the time.
They could have. They removed the nipples in Sailor Moon during transformation when they brought it over to the West.
And the closest thing you have to that now is in the intro of the 5th season of Lupin the Third, where you have, if you look very, very close in the photo that Lupin takes from space by hijacking a satellite, a spy satellite, that he takes off his girlfriend lying on the beach.
Is that,
if you look very closely, you can see that her nipples exposed.
I think was that Fujiko? I'm trying to remember her name.
That's Fujiko.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Let's go to space and hijack a spy satellite so that I can take lewd pictures of my girlfriend on the beach. In a beetle.
I remember when they artistically covered blood with like white mist in certain romance because it was you can't, because the focus was romance. They didn't want to have there was some action scenes in certain animes of the 90s, and I was like, all right, that's an artistic choice. And they didn't have also the person they were being cut was like a magical being anyways. I was like, all right, fair enough, you can do whatever you want. But then other scenes would have blood. I was like, what? Like, why would they? It's like as if the censors were like fighting. And like the first season of this romance show, I remember it was called Celeste. It's about these girls with blue hair, that magical powers and whatever. And she loved this magical being that saved her. And he bled, and sometimes he didn't bleed. It was as if the censors and the producers were like fighting with each other. They wouldn't know what to do. I mean, would he get? Oh, this is too violent. It's like it's blood. It's like, well. Sailor Moon, depicted. Was it Sailor Moon? It was even Fist of the North Star. Everything was sweat. All the blood was removed as a sweat, even though their heads exploded. You're like, what?
Oh, so just like Mortal Kombat 1 on the SNES.
Oh, jeez.
You still had blood animations there?
No, the fact that that version of the game took out the blood for sweat.
I think that's a good example
in-
because
I've seen the pictures of what the blood in Mortal Kombat 1 looked like.
yeah,
The German version just had it completely removed. There was nothing in its place.
that was the most.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, but Mortal Kombat was like the violent video game of the time, so it's like okay, we gotta be careful with
And
this.
then-
It was breaking new grounds.
Eh,
Actually,
Yes,
it
did.
It was truly breaking new grounds.
Yes.
anyway,
And then GTA took it further, and the rest is history.
yeah.
Now we're here, where everything's thrown to the dumpster. Sacrifice to
I
the
think
hammer and
those-
sickle board.
I think those GTA 6 leaks real. Is that? I don't know if those were fake or I don't
I
know.
think they were real
Oh boy.
to the
Okay.
point where, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, we gotta wait on that. I'm not gonna talk about it because I don't want to comment on stuff I don't know is true or false. But we'll find out. Rockstar takes their
Yeah.
time. The last. I think that one of the last gaming studios who actually take the effort to make a
We'll
refined
see.
product.
We'll see.
Not
Yeah.
anymore.
Who
They
knows?
will live or die on this.
I know. Okay.
Yeah, GTA 6 is going to be the make or break of the company
Yeah,
at this
I've,
point.
I've given up on Bully too. I don't think it's happening.
You think?
Yeah.
There's bully code in GTA 6.
Okay. Anyway.
Somehow,
If that's
but
a
some-
that's,
yeah,
if
somehow, but
that's
yeah.
a consolation.
All right. Well, we got a few seconds left. Let's just see what this guy says.
I don't fit in with the weirdos that watch the weird anime.
and everything. I just
That's
know
a you problem.
this activity on God, bro.
I mean, you are one of the weirdos.
Wait
The
a
ones that
second.
Yeah.
What's
You're
wrong
one of
with
the
people?
weirdos. The ones that-
What's wrong
Yeah.
with people watching anime? Because you don't think it's normal or
He
real.
doesn't. Okay, so he wants to get the guilt by association. That's what he's afraid
This
of.
is another elitist argument. Oh, you don't watch the real anime. You don't know what I know. I know the
No,
really
no.
good
He
anime.
didn't say that. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to be guilt by association with the people who are the creep weirdos.
In chat, Ego Dreamer, you're watching anime. Yeah, it's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm the guy who knows the anime that's good. All you plebeians are pathetic perverts who don't know anything.
Also, I was saying to this guy, yeah, at the end there, yeah, you are one of the weirdos. One of the weirdos that rejects reality.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Simple as
I'm
that.
gonna watch Fire Force tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I gotta rewatch that. What was wrong with that show? Nothing. It was great. Anyway.
Yeah, I was stole my joke, damn it.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, I know this one. Which one is this? What anime is this? God damn it.
I need to. I need to.
My question is, how many memes did you skip?
move
No,
over.
I'm at let me see. I'm at today at 7:36 p.m.
Yeah, you skipped a few.
No, I didn't.
The first one's from Cyberfrog. Always
First
remember
one's a
to
SpongeBob.
Yes.
First one's a SpongeBob.
But I don't like fan service. Then why did you watch a shonen anime?
Father,
Jeez.
until you get SpongeBob.
Yeah,
Just
the guy,
keep scrolling. Just keep
Yeah, the-
scrolling.
the guy with the kid.
I don't know why this is why you're so far down.
I don't know either.
What the hell? Look how much
There
you
it
would
is.
have skipped from our wonderful audience.
All right. But I don't like fan
There we
service. Then why did you watch a shonen anime?
Yeah. Yeah, I just read it. Yeah.
That would be my thumbnail to this guy, and then I would spend the entire minute saying, "Mangakas are not pedophiles," and then I'd just silence for the next minute.
Oh, so if it had been a response video instead of the Smudcast, this would be a thumbnail.
This is what it. This is all you need.
Okay.
Like if you've not watched
Really,
shonen anime, you've not read shonen manga, and you've never seen cleavage furrows of a woman,
First of all, where's your brain?
where have you been the past 40 years at least? I mean,
In an Islamic siege.
I guess you've never actually watched or read comics in that amount of time, yeah.
Yeah.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure when I'm alone. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure when my parents They're fighting, Mom. No idea why the stress of being ashamed at any age when Nickelodeon has... Nickelodeon, yeah, don't worry.
Well, where it's just a cow being milked with a machine, but they like play it off as some kind of like torture. It's hilarious.
Oh wow, the adult
I have seen too much.
hentai with an actual plot. Urutsukidoji. Seriously disturbing? No, it's not. Come on.
Legend of the Overfiend. Okay.
How does slightly play devil's advocate?
That's probably the American advertisement that always.
Yeah, of course, obviously. It's freaking DVD. Who puts English like manga entertainment? Yeah. Now to slightly play devil's advocate, there are some parents that basically treat your privacy like this. How I walk into my parents' room when they're sleeping. Okay. How my parents walk into my room when I'm sleeping with a tank.
Yes, I can confirm this.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
My first Smudcast meme. Okay. Fan service.
Also on that fucking thing, you can lock your door. If you can't lock your door and your parents don't respect your privacy in your later teenage years, your parents are assholes.
Okay.
That's all.
Fan service can be good for comics too. Don't be afraid to give the lady some skin. Well, that's the original
Carol's
design. Yeah, it's the original Carol.
Carol when she's Captain Marvel, and then Carol when she used to be Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
She was so much of a better character before she became the captain.
Before she became supremely powerful, like this overtly strong.
I mean, she
She
was
also had a
that.
normal, friendly smile, and the Captain Marvel. She has the sadistic sneer.
To be
The,
fair,
the
Smudge.
askew psycho smile.
To be fair, Smudge. She was already that powerful.
But she got absorbed by Rogue, so she lost a lot of the power, right?
Yeah, but that whole thing happened when she was still Ms. Marvel.
Okay.
It didn't stretch into when she became Captain Marvel.
All right, this one's for Wisp. Me reading the Bible alone when my parents walk in.
Okay.
Me alone. Me around people. What?
Yes. Yes. Hashtag relatable.
Yeah, we've been there. We've
Another
all
one.
been there.
Some boring human nurse with cancer. Some sexy wife who can kick ass. Is that Lady Sif?
Thor's sexy wife. Yes, it's Sif.
I always liked
Proper-
Lady Sif. Yeah.
Proper Sif.
Yeah.
A lot of people did. Even in the early MCU, like with the early Thor stuff, Sif ended up being the fan favorite out of the other Asgardian characters.
She did not take shit from anyone. Lady Sif was awesome. Really liked her. Anyway, female weebs, male weebs, both liking cute anime girls. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I've met female weebs. They're good people. They're just like male weebs. There's a Giphy. It didn't work.
Moving on, yes.
Yeah. People that bitch about jiggle physics would lose their minds if they saw Cthulhu. Rape man begins,
lose their
returns
minds
for.
for
Is I read the manga, so I know what to expect.
I read the manga.
It's amazing. Like you're like, holy shit! This is. Like, they justify everything. Like, oh my god.
Is that literally what the bastard is called?
Yeah, it's great.
Oh my god.
So look at her design. Really cool design. I love her outfit. It makes sense with her powers. And I think this is Form 1 or Form 2. I can't remember which one it was.
Again, Tamaki is literally just Japan's take on the Human Torch. That's it.
As a cat girl, yeah.
As a cat girl, yes.
As a transforming fire cat girl, yeah. It's pretty cool.
Oh god, what if you do the cat thing, walking or anything? If you try to go on all fours like that, that will fucking hurt.
That's what she does.
Going on the outside of your fingers. Holy shit.
Some boring ass girl who died and alt you self dating the Miles Morales. What is alt you?
In an alternate universe.
Oh, okay. Hot model actress who serves as the grounding element of Spidey's books.
Yes.
I wouldn't say the grounding element, but that's fine.
A small part of the grounding element of the Spider-Man books, but yes.
She's his anchor.
Yeah, part of that.
Yes.
oh, this is a great anime, but ooh, the fan service. Ooh, I can't stand the fan service. I never understand if guys like watching anime and unless there's an overtly titillated scene that you say is over the top, you're like, all right, that's too much. Like with Agent Ika. I
Just
get that.
wank off, get it out of your system, get it over with.
Yeah, but the
Bloody
thing is
hell.
with Agent Ika, it happens so much. It's like, oh, who cares anymore? It would just get on.
In
with it.
Ica, you can't process it. It's also just panty shot the movie.
Oh, cartwheel,
Yeah, there
panty
are-
shot,
it's-
backflip the movie. Yeah, it's just constant.
Yeah, it's there's more panty shots than scenes in that movie.
It's actually pretty wild. Like to sit through 20 minutes, just like, whoa, what is
Yeah,
happening?
you if you're not desensitized after that, I nobody can help you.
I don't always lose my balance and trip, but when I do, I make sure to grab the nearest boobs and get beaten to a pulp. To Love Rue's plot in a that is like 1/5 of every scenario that happens to this guy. He falls over, he grabs a girl's boobs, winds up in her crotch, winds up in another dimension with them, just entangled in multiple women. It's hilarious. How does this happen? He falls over and boom, women's are just collapsing on top of him.
It's at least a funny fetish.
It's so silly, yeah. Okay. This is kind of accurate. I like it. Tamaki, okay. There we go. Alex Ross. Even Alex Ross draws cheesecake. Cheesecake. What?
Yes, lovely.
All right. Morbidly curious how these types would react to Gintama. No, they would not like Gintama. It's too smart.
It's too smart for their tiny brains.
It's too sophisticated. There we go. It's Gintama. It's too nuanced. What do we got here? Look, I'm making the missing children fight each other. Oh, that's cute. I like that.
Let's get ready to rumble.
That's Shinchan.
Yeah.
If you like that kind of humor,
Yeah.
go watch it.
Correction, the Fantastic Four's costumes are indestructible because of the unstable molecules that they're made of. The same thing with the Hulk's pants. Oh, really? Whenever Banner hulks out, even Hank and Jan shrink and grow, etc.
Yeah, okay, fair enough, but certain versions do use the original spacesuits being irradiated by the same cosmic radiation as they were. I know the 2005 movie used that as the explanation, and a couple
Yeah.
other versions.
You know, normal unstable molecules just fall apart and create more radiation.
Yeah, they're isotopes or isomers. They're not healthy to be around. But if you're the Fantastic Four, you got hit by gamma, or you're the Hulk. I mean, it's like, who cares? It's just more radiation.
Magic physics.
Yay! Every time this guy talks, what are you?
What are you, gay?
Gay?
Thank you, Zach Brannigan.
I mean, that
One
did cross my
time Zap's
mind.
right.
Oh, this is cool. There's her jet. Correction. While inside Wonder Woman's invisible jet, you are invisible to everything, just not to the reader viewer. Ooh.
That's
Not what it looked like in the old comics.
But that is the explanation, though.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's just a concession for the reader.
Uh-huh.
Yes, Superman had a mullet. Yes, he had multiple haircuts. It's true. Superman's aura only prevents his costume from being torn. Bullets bounce off him because of his Kryptonian physiology.
Yep. That's
That-
that's the compromise.
That's a really dumb excuse.
I thought that's the same.
Welcome to comic books.
I thought that's the same reasoning. He has an aura, so the bullets just bounce off his aura.
The auras for
Yeah,
the
but now
costume.
he has a magic mana shield. Why?
For the costume.
You're just lazy.
No, it's just superhero comics. Where have you been?
Lazy.
All right. Here is. Oh, I like that one. That one's cute.
You feel the heat.
Obviously child porn.
Yeah, her those are clearly her breasts, not her knees. She has a weird fashion sense. Yeah. I blame this book for the reason Nightwing, Starfire not being a thing anymore.
Red Hood and the Outlaws, yeah, basically.
What happened? They changed the plot? Oh, they're younger. Is that it?
If you read the thing.
I haven't read it, no. Oh, the New 52. Never mind.
No, the meme. The actual image.
I'm fine with the fan service and cheesecake, but only when it's mature, unlike in this book. Starfire in this book is a massive whore who sleeps around. Only like humans for the sex, and her outfit is skimpier than it unusually is here. Shame, DC, shame? What?
And that is one of several issues with Red Hood and the Outlaws. It's just not... It's below the bar.
Interesting. What? This isn't an anime?
Yes, it is.
Even the gnomes don't get this video? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Canadian commissioned anime.
Oh.
Okay.
Only pedophiles like this character. Oh my god, Shotoku. What? All right. Look at this. Look at this.
Manga anime.
I don't know what that is.
Manga and anime merged into a single word.
Okay.
Manga anime.
Portmanteau. Paul, you know this kind of manga anime normalized pedophilia, right? Oh, there's neuralities.
You just caught it.
Oh my god, no, it's neuralities. And then, of course, there's her artwork, which she promptly took down.
Sexualizing.
I wonder why she drew that. Questionnaire. Are these women different ages? This guy's answer. They're the same age. Questionnaire.
Your apostrophe is in the wrong spot, but I understand what you're getting at.
Wisp, when this theory of the pedophilia pipeline was proven correct. The pedophilia pipeline? Is that...
Survey says
I'm
right.
Is that what you called it?
I don't know. No, I don't think it's a pipeline. It's that the pedophiles just use this strategy almost automatically. I don't think it's they have a manual for this. I think it's just a natural strategy they automatically develop in coping and deflecting.
All right.
It's at least a cult.
So here we have Wisp. This man needs a therapist. Me, no, he needs a prostitute.
Huh? Maybe. Those can be therapeutic.
Yeah, but would the prostitute be a 17-year-old buxom girl is the question.
Oh, no, that would mentally break.
Yeah, he'd be destroyed. He'd be so confused. His life...
We would visibly see the brain.
Also smart. That would be illegal.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, that would really be ironic, but just.
Yes, it would be, and it would be glorious.
Then they are the biggest hypocrites on earth. I have seen tons of annoying hatred towards Tamaki. There you go, but never once people crying about this. Their mask is falling. Okay, that's one of the characters. Those are the characters in Fire Force, I believe. That's the church guys. Lunar Archivist. Shonen means boys. Shonen manga means boys manga. Target audience is adolescent teenage boys. Boys like girls. Manga is filled with female characters, the same general age as the target audience. Why are there so many teenage girls in this manga? It is a mystery. Also, why do you think Horikoshi likes to draw naked teenage girls? Because it's certainly not for the plot.
That's what Lunar Archivist is replying to.
Yeah.
It's a mystery.
Why do they do it? Moomin 1990 had beautiful art. Moomin.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely beautiful.
Also,
absolutely. If you need something chill to calm down to, this is it. I have sadly only found the first 10 episodes with the Japanese original. If anyone knows where I can find the rest of Moomins, please let me know.
I'm trying to see what this is. I swear I couldn't find my pajamas, so I'm borrowing the housekeeper's uniform.
Yeah.
What is that? I can't quite make it out. Fan service is now fixed. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
No.
That doesn't
Oh
look right.
no.
No.
I don't think this man has ever gotten an erection.
I think he has a constant erection and is embarrassed.
I think it's a more of like, I'm a man. I like boobs. It's like, okay, you didn't have to say that. I mean, that's kind of assumed that if you're heterosexual, we don't have to point that out, nor should we care to.
Well, he hated so much on boobs that he now has to say that he actually likes them.
Yeah, this is the I know what you mean. I know the other side of the argument, blah 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 sort of statement. But in this case, it's personal because it's like, well, you shouldn't be depicting 17-year-olds with nice boobs. It's like, but I like them too. It's like, wait a second, you like them, but they're wrong. Why? And you have to give me good reasons why, and not because and then explain that. He didn't even get into the lore explanation when he clearly could have, because he had the wiki article. I'm sure they would have just read the damn thing. Explain
You
the
could also
powers.
stop your cultural imperialism trying to tell the Japanese how they should change their culture.
Yeah, they're making anime wrong. They're not watching it wrong. Their entire premise is wrong.
Yeah, they should listen. They should listen to the Westerners on how to be cultural.
How to make money or whatever.
Yeah.
Me, bruh. People don't need Japanese cartoons to jack off to. We have this website for that.
Yes.
I mean, if you want.
We have Google image search for that.
Go to Horny Jail, and that is... Yeah, I don't know what that is.
That is also from the Moomins. That's the
Oh,
Moomin
yeah?
house on the left. That's the Moomin house.
A whole lunchbox out of her breast. You must be new. Is that a lunchbox or she's pulling fabric out? I don't know. Hard to tell. And here we... Oh, this is it. I could fit a grenade launcher in my pants.
Oh yeah, that. Hoi.
Beautiful.
Gotta love the flash animation. Me innocently watching my show. Someone walks in. Anime boobs. Allow me to introduce myself.
Could anime boobs beat Goku?
No.
No,
He's
not in the
too-
least.
He's too uninterested. He'd be like, "What is? How do I fight that? Do I punch it? Do I? Yeah.
And even without that, he's still married.
It is shock absorbent.
Ah. This is where the whole freaking channel started. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what this is. It feels like it's 90s, but it doesn't. Like my brain's like, what is this?
There are 2 frames of buttocks.
Oh no, it's a bouncing girl. She's got the,
It looks like 80s, early 80s.
maybe it feels like 90s though.
Hmm.
Anime then anime. Okay.
It says it's Gunbuster.
This is is that Gunbuster? I think you're right. Man, it's been a while. Why? But there's no transformation in Gunbuster. It's a freaking sci-fi show.
It's not a transformation either. It's just a spin. It's just a cute spin.
Okay, I don't remember her doing that, but fair enough. This is actually a big problem. As anime progresses, we see that only the MILF characters in the past had large breasts, but to make all characters in this new show attractive, you had to increase each character's breast size? No, you didn't. What are you
No.
talking about?
Ray had the biggest.
They weren't that. I thought, what's her face? The mother figure had the biggest boobs.
The mother figure? Ritsuko?
The person who looked after Shinji.
Misato.
Misato, thank you.
Misato doesn't count because she's 38
No,
or something.
jeez. Okay, fine. But Ray was attractive. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Ray was like the best girl throughout the entire show. Add competition with other shows, and we end up with even rising size standard. Google
Good.
anime boob inflation to learn more. What nonsense is this?
Even if this is just compensation for the West due to socialist pressure and pedophilic pressure in Hollywood, reducing boob size.
I
Because
don't know.
everything that comes out of Hollywood, the women don't have boobs anymore. They all look like young boys. It's horrible. The death of femininity.
This is silly. I mean, Rey was a perfectly attractive, like she was adored by everyone visually, let alone her personality, which is questionable.
Yeah, if you liked Asuka, you were wrong.
the crazy German girl with mother issues.
Crazy, abusive, narcissistic twat.
Top 4 anime boobs, prison school, Bulma? What? Bulma? Danny DeVito.
And James.
And James in his outfit, his disguise.
That episode that never aired in Germany.
That's an amazing disguise,
It
by
never
the way.
aired anywhere outside of Japan.
Yeah. Like, he looks really good in that for a guy. What we got here? Huh? You mean subtitles literally...
They knew.
What
That's
the...
good subtitle.
What am... I don't...
That is somebody who took pride in his job making subtitles. This is why subs are better than dubs.
This has got to be either a pure ecchi anime or an hentai. I've just never heard of. I don't know.
It's either or. You don't do this in any.
Yeah, that would not happen in a normal show.
I'm sorry, what? I was distracted.
Don't worry about it. That makes me a normie, then so be it. It makes you worse than a normie, sir. This man is the reason you shouldn't be a normie. He tried to defend himself like preemptively, and then he later on showcased he's even worse than a normie. He's actually an idiot. He's just an ignorant ignorant in many ways, because he said he watched tens of thousands of anime, which is lying because you can't physically do that. Between 14 years old and...
It's an unbelievable exaggeration, especially with how little he knows, how little he can reference.
And to
how
that
little
point...
he gave examples of good anime that has zero fan service, of which there is a lot.
If I said I've been drinking wine for 7-8 years, I might know a little about wine. I would be severely inebriated and sick and hurting my liver for those 8 years, but I would have learned what is good and bad wine because I would have consumed so much, and I had so much suffering and pain and hangovers that I know what hurt me and what didn't. Like, it would just be a natural process of just consuming something. It didn't have to be wine. So if you said you consumed that much anime, you'd know a little bit about anime, I think. Like, you wouldn't be forgetful and say stupid shit because you spent almost a decade watching it. There's the infamous plot animation. And there, this is Grenadier, which I watched.
Wonderful nonsense action anime.
It's so dumb.
With some surprising depth, with some of the stories.
Yeah, I always hated this animation because I was like, wait a second. Vosh the Stampede couldn't even do something like this, and he even had an auto reloader for his gun. But this girl he
didn't have F cups
that can magically bounce bullets at different angles, and then she would just throw her revolver at them, and they'd all just lock into place.
Yes. Look, this is where you get. This is where the actual hammer space is located. That's why you can pull bazookas out of that.
Oh, all right. They got another one with they're going to uglify and race bend Callisto, in Wolverine's game. And Insomniac got exclusivity to X-Men for the next 12 years. Yay?
I think that's Will Smith's horror wife. That looks like Will Smith's psycho wife.
I thought that was the what was the chick from the Ancient One in
No, it's neither of those.
The Marvel version or the MCU version of the Ancient One, I thought.
Oh.
Wasn't she a chick in the
Yeah, but she wasn't black.
No, it's the bitch from what's the name? Jedi Fallen Order?
The Buckeye woman?
Yeah.
Why would you keep
Like,
making that ugly thing?
Yeah, why are people still hiring this woman?
Why are you making everyone ugly? Also, why does she have two?
Jesus, what is this? I think we're gonna have to kill this guy, Mario. Damn, is this Godzilla? Like, what's happening here? They're gonna kill Bowser? What's that? What is this?
No, they're referring to the guy in the video.
In the video.
Okay, I mean, what is Mario and Godzilla or whatever this is?
They're allying. They're friends.
All right.
They
Right
have
to
similar
left.
power levels.
Is that what's important here? Why she put on a T-shirt? Huh? Nami? Doom? What? What's happening? What's happening?
I don't know either.
Sanji is just losing his mind. Like, what's
I think this is actually left to right.
left to
Is
right?
it?
Okay, maybe. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that makes more sense.
How dare you post left to right?
It makes more sense that way. Yeah. Of course, Sanji would be spying on her already. Yeah. Rotom jump scare. All right.
It's
What do
because
we
we
got
got Rotom memes.
To quote Brie Larson, it wasn't made for you. There you go. I can tell you that was made for you, FBI.
What was made for you?
What else we got here? I don't like fan service. Okay, fair enough. But I appreciate that anime is a genre that allows authors to express themselves however they want. And the last thing I want is more censorship, because once they are starting with the fan service, it won't be the end, but just a start. Okay, if you don't like the fan service, that's fine, but you shouldn't force other people not to like it. I don't think he's forcing people. He's just a stupid idiot. Like, he just doesn't know what he's
Yeah, but
talking.
he wants anime to stop with it.
But we
so
don't
he
know
is
why.
following up
We
on
don't know how. Like, he's like, oh, it's bad in this show, but it's okay in this show. And you're like, where? It's like, you just complained it was bad, and at the end of the video, you're saying it's okay. Like, what?
Sexually repressed, guilty about himself,
Like,
about his own faults.
Is Fire Force good or bad? I don't know anymore. I'm sorry, but this video is giving off major Ben Shapiro listens to WAP energy. WAP?
The hell's WAP?
I think I knew that one, but I forgot.
Wireless Area Protocol? I don't know.
That's probably not it.
But they're just boobs. Your friends are forever. Well, boobs are forever, too. I mean, that's the same idea.
Yeah, but they sag.
They're still forever.
Still forever.
What
That was
is-
a hell of a South Park episode.
I've never seen that. I don't think I want to.
That episode is amazing. It's the most metal thing you'll ever see.
Okay. I'm a straight guy. Me. Are you sure about that? I think we had something just similar, just a few pages up. Are you a homosexual?
Hey.
What? I'm biased against animated cars. Lightning. Racist.
When did you say that?
The idea was that there's a token type association, and the example he gave was real women, and I was like, well, how about cars? Like, obviously there's more detail with a real car. It's a lot more sophisticated than a 2D car.
I guess the lingo.
Therefore, type relationships or type instances are inferior to my instance of my experience with a type, or a token rather. There we go. Yep, this is classic.
That's basically what's going on.
Yeah. Oh my God, women are
That's basically this guy.
gyrating, and he's like, no, it's pedophilic or whatever argument he's bringing up.
Why are you gay?
I had to.
This is just good wholesome fun. I'm just trying to remember where it's from though.
Hats.
Nice pair of boobs. Yeah, don't say that to girls. Doesn't work until you're well past their.
The joke. No. The joke
it
is
works
that
with the wrong girls.
No. The context for that one is that these two have a little sister, and she calls these two boobs from how stupid they are sometimes.
Leonardo da Vinci invented a helicopter. Oh, that's
What?
silly.
You could read that? You can read Suomi? Or did you just know what that means?
I think the text. I think what Smud just read was the translation. What's in the thing?
Oh, Carabo wrote it above.
Yeah.
Okay.
These
I didn't
people
see- I
think
didn't
the
see that.
difference between these women are a series of dimensions. I think, yeah, sure. Okay.
Bro, you ain't even from this dimension. That's what it seems. That's what it seems like. I'll give him that.
Yeah, no, the thing is, when he brought up the fourth dimension, I'm like, just stop it. You don't even have the intelligence to talk about that. A palate
Adam
cleanser
Driver
for
went.
yeah, this is
Driver
great.
went like, wow, I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I'm a fan now.
I posted a thing he talked about who killed Ben Solo. I didn't kill Ben Solo. Woke killed Ben Solo. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Santa!
Now I need to write fan mail. Damn it.
All right, we're on TV. Hey, Santa. It's me, Adam, driver, from the nice list, and also girls. I turned 40 this year, Santa, so I'd like 5 pairs of chinos. I also wanted one of those giant metal Tesla trucks. I think it would pair perfectly with my teeny tiny micro penis. Oh, and I'd like people to stop coming up to me on the street saying, you killed Han Solo. I didn't kill Han Solo. Wokeness killed Han Solo. Let's see, what else do I want? Oh, you know those TikToks where it's like those couples who do pranks on each other? Can you kill those people?
Hell yeah.
That was good. They're so fake. I don't know if you guys ever I've seen like 2 in my life. I'm like, this is obviously staged. Obviously. And they're like, setting things up, and she falls down a flight of stairs or whatever, and she gets dunked on by water. It's like she's obviously acting. Like, this is dumb. So that's good to know. Oh, here we go. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I've watched a Japanese cartoon and I have found the women attractive. I don't know. I really don't know about this guy.
Yeah.
Did he find them attractive, or was he offended? I just don't know.
He was offended that he was attracted.
Fine. Hideo Kojima explaining Quiet's outfit? No, I didn't.
A thesis.
He wouldn't do that. It's all visual storytelling to do. Yoko Taro explaining 2B's outfit. I just really like girls. Well,
Yeah.
kinda. I mean,
That
that's
was
part
his
of it.
explanation.
Yeah,
That was his explanation.
but within the game, I don't think they ever go into it, so it's not a big deal.
No, well, why would you? It's the normal dress code.
Here we go. Hello, Anons. Before I begin, let me clarify that I'm not gay. Gay as shit imaginable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a good way to say hello. There she is, being cute, and why is she pulling her cheeks? What does that mean?
That's her being spunky.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's an Asgard type.
All right. No, she's so unrealistic. This perpetuates a wrong representation of real women bodies. No. Damn, gotta hit the gym to look like him and improve. It's pretty much it, guys.
Yeah.
That's all we do. We're like, I gotta go back to the gym for another hour to.
It's the you could frame this as the difference between positive competitiveness and negative competitiveness. So the chat does the positive competitiveness by going, oh, they look amazing. I need to put more work in. I want to be like that too. Maybe even better. Awesome. And the girl is negatively competitive. She wants to tear all those down who look better than her so that people look at her.
That's also the nature of males to be competitive, to say, oh, I know what to do. I gotta keep at it. I gotta keep going. I can't slow down. Whereas the women are like, oh, I'm not gonna go to the gym. I'm not gonna lose weight. I'm not gonna check my diet and watch what I eat. It's like, okay.
It also shows very well that women are not the moderative sex. They will tear each other to pieces if they can.
I'm just posting this just to prove to Whisp that what I said earlier. Okay. This is the guy, ISR Productions, I think. The fact that you're a Muslim, yet you choose to be a moderate what does that have anything to do with Muslim? When it becomes to fan service, instead of being fully against it, says a lot about your credibility? What? The fact you're a Muslim, yet you choose to be a moderate, which one is religious, one is, I don't know, moderate politically?
No. He means moderate Muslim,
Yeah,
which is not the moderate Muslim is not the actual average or median Muslim. What we understand or what we believe to be the moderate Muslim is an absolute outlier of which maybe on the planet 5 million exist. Which, considering that Islam has 1 billion of people, 5 million is nothing. There's basically nobody.
Yeah, but to say that
who is fine with
you're part of a religion which implies orthodoxy, yet you choose to be moderate when it comes to fan service. So he's not into covering up your bodies. He's in the middle somewhere, whatever that means. So when it comes to fan service, instead of being fully against it, but you just said he's a moderate.
Yeah, but it would explain him being so uncomfortable with naked, curvy women.
Yeah, but this is illogical. If you're saying someone's moderate, regardless of whether you're Orthodox Muslim or Orthodox Jew or pick any religion, doesn't matter. And he's explaining that, instead of you being fully against it, meaning you've lost credibility. It's like, what are you talking about? If he was Orthodox, then he would be fully against it. Let's just imagine.
Yeah, Smart, the thing is that the standard Muslim is what we consider radical Muslim.
Really?
While what we believe or what we are told is moderate Muslim is the extreme outlier. It's the other way around than we would expect. If you look at the worldwide demographic of what Muslims believe.
Maybe it's a bit different in Toronto. I've met my share of Muslims there. They're all over the spectrum, the same with Jews, the same with pretty much any religion.
We had the actual moderates in Germany until 2015. Now we got a lot of the radicals.
Now they're right. Yeah, now they're
the bad radicals.
Yeah,
not
okay.
the
I see what you mean.
nice radicals.
But this is just to, even theoretically, if you were to say this, this doesn't make sense. So pedophiles, here we go. The song plays. I like big butts and I cannot lie. This song is for pedophiles. I don't know about this dude, man. What a 17-year-old girl in anime makes you pedophilic. Like, all right. Whatever. Gianmarco Soresi. An innocent vocabulary joke, stand-up. Okay, I'll watch that later. Sounds good. Know your meaning?
It's a short. It's a minute long.
It's going to take too long. The village breast inspector? What? What's going on here?
It's a very important tradition. It is probably a secret art you can master.
I mean, there are reasons.
Or something.
There are reasons to inspect the body for lesions and all kinds of other skin irritations, but these women seem very happy. Okay.
I know I would be.
Here we go. This bitch afraid of booba. And I like boobs, but what the F is this? Come on.
I've seen that in real life. It can happen.
Oh,
yeah, it's rare, but it can happen.
Quentin reviews. Quentin. Anime's weird. I don't understand anime. Okay, whatever. The law of universal gravitation. Oh. In the universe, two bodies attract each other in a way that is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to their square distance. Okay. Force 1, force 2. True. Mass 1, mass 2. Is R radius? It's not a radius. Okay.
Where's the R?
I know. It's
down there. Like, that's not. That shouldn't be an R.
Well, maybe it's depicting the sum of a radii between 2 points. I don't know. What?
No. That would be diameter because you have, at least on the right side, because that's twice the radius. But on the left, it's much more
I'm
than
still. I'm sure.
that. That's distance.
Yeah, I want to get the actual formula to see what the R represents because I think it's not radius. It's something else.
That's not proper boob physics. That's not how you do boob physics.
She's got these eyes. Oh, and her butt and her tatties. Whoa, is that a rhyme? I'm not saying it properly, probably. Yoshika, boobs aren't scary. Well, I mean, no, I have to watch this anime. Whatever that is. Oh. We pissed someone off. Yeah, I don't know exactly what he was saying that we freaked out 2 or 3 times, but it was just crazy shit. Oh, I think it was when we brought up the black person who watches anime. That was crazy shit. Okay. Smud. There are people who think that Revan and Bastilla's romance is pedophilic because Revan's 38, Bastilla's 23. I mean, Christ, they're both legal and adults by our standards. They also have a force bond. One saved, each other's.
People really don't understand what pedophilia is.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much nuance to their characters and their relationship and how it can manifest and how you could choose to select how it goes. I mean, you're talking about
Like 15 years is quite a number, but the older you get, the wider the gap is acceptable.
Yeah, there's all this nuance to their character. The conflict they went through. One changed each other's minds. One saved each other's lives several times. Like there's all this history. Like there's a lot going on in this relationship.
Yeah, these are legals by all standards.
And then you have the metaphysical powers between them, the force bond, the mystical nature of the force, even as a thing between Jedi and Sith. The Sith nature of Bastilla and what she went through and how you had to help her through that if you chose to help her out or have her embrace it. There's a lot going on. It's a great story.
I was like, isn't it pronounced Bastilla?
Bastilla? I don't know.
Hey,
I don't remember.
you're the one you played the game. I haven't.
Yeah, but that was like a while ago.
Do you?
I have to listen to the voice lines one more time. He's just standing there menacingly.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Well, I can think of one SpongeBob character for the male gaze. Really? Interesting.
Yes, you're not wrong.
Me at the beach, sweetie, sweetie, I'm coming for that booty.
Hey,
All right.
just seeing that fucking artwork reminds me of the Lindsay Lohan thing. I'm just like, I want to forget that, please.
Yeah, you're right. She sued Rockstar
because she thought this looked like her. I'm just like, are you high, woman?
That was so funny. I was like, what? Are you? I mean, you are high. I mean, she does go to rehab every year, but it's just like,
But was she high at the moment when she made that lawsuit?
it would have been a part of her and the lawyers egging her on to like, well, yeah, do it, sue, go for it, we'll make some money. And you got to be careful with lawyers. So
yeah. Moving on before
Especially in the US.
Before I'm reminded of the damn Paul Verhoeven thing as well. Moving on.
You just blow it. You just blow in from stupid.
That is that line is in the show in that scene. So yeah.
What is I can watch Japanese cartoons. Yes. That was pretty much what he said in that scene where he's like, well, you have a black friend. He can watch it because he's justified, but you are relying on him or something like that. It's like, what? I know a guy who watches anime like me.
It's a black guy.
And he's black? Everything burns. Oh, okay.
Yes, what we're living through right now.
Yeah, that's also from the Moomins.
My Wisp face was talking about. I think that's a different Wisp.
Face,
that Wisp was talking about.
The face Wisp was talking. That's KSI. What the fuck?
No, that's looking from beneath. Pedophiles, they look down on you from above. This is the Pennywise stare.
Yeah,
that's also pedophilic, but
oh god,
what I mean is the stare you get from down below.
I think I know
from
what
above.
kind of anime he's watching. Oh, they made that into an anime. What do you know?
What?
Yeah, it's a silly manga. It was like a short manga, like I don't know, maybe a few pages long, and it just kept getting popular. So they keep making more stories and more characters. So each of these, I don't know if they're all teachers, but I think most of them are, and they each have their own subplot with another student. And the first one is the girl, the second from the right, who's like this. It's always silly. Like it's always everything's circumstantial. It's like, how the hell did they get in this scenario? And that's the story. And it just so happens the guy who's a student who gets in these scenarios with the teacher happened to be the reason why she became a teacher in the first place when he was like 7 or whatever. Like it's just so silly. Everything's like, oh wow, what a coincidence. Like, yeah, that's funny. But that's the comedy. And there's lots of tits, yes. Smud, Rockstar take their time. Are we a joke to you? Valve is pretty funny, I gotta admit. They do some weird stuff.
Valve just can't count the 3.
Or 30. It's been pretty long since been waiting for that
30,
game.
okay.
Yeah, it's like how many more decades we have to wait. Serene winter scenery of Moomins. Cool. My first Smudcast making memes, and I was half the memes. Yeah, you went nuts.
Yeah, because these were scattered across all of them. Friggin' Rotom from Pokemon.
Jansen's art is nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
She started in making the movements while she sat in the outhouse
Are those
and
her?
carved it into the wood.
Are those her arms? What's going on here? Those white protrusions from.
What?
Are those wings?
Those are
What's- I don't know. I'm curious about her
I
physique.
think they're wings.
Yeah, who knows? My mom comes into my room the same way that Timmy Turner's dad does.
I respect your privacy by knocking, but asserting my authority as your parent by coming in anyway. Bam.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate it. It's knock knock in. Like there's not even a second pass. It's knock knock in.
I don't
Fuck
even get
you.
the. I don't even get the knock knock.
Get a brick to the face. Like, I had a flatmate once who did the same. Knock knock in. Like I was there, not having.
Oh no!
That was great.
Steven Universe versus Hitler. What if you could change your mind, Hitler? I think we're gonna have to kill this guy, Steven. What? What is this? What is...
Another one from the same episode as the last one.
Jesus.
Yeah, man. That episode was metal.
Is that Thor? Like, who is this dude?
No. Can't you see everything's boobs?
Look at the set.
Look at his shoulder pads and his girdle.
Yeah. Jesus.
His fucking scepter and everything.
Big breasts are filled with dreams. That's funny. I like that.
But that you didn't notice.
Okay. There's the wonderful character we saw several times.
Rotom, yes.
More of this same artist.
More movements. More movements.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, baby
there it
Bowser.
is. Your commander who is hunkered down by a squad of highly advanced, beautiful soldier waifus. Yeah. There's 5 of them. You could jump into any of them and take cover and, blow away things. It's a fun game, actually. I actually enjoyed it.
Ass.
It's been a while since I played. I still have it installed on my emulator, but it's there.
When do you ever find time to play these?
Well, the thing about games like that, because they're mobile, they're easy to pick up and put down. So while I'm working, I'll just take like a 2-second break or a 2-minute break and just, That's the only time I get to play. Unless it's like now. So, anyway. But that game I haven't played in a while. That was a long meme session.
Something.
Yeah, no, that was fun. Whew.
It delve into the insanity of man.
That was
Deep
a
dive?
video
Some dive.
that I don't know. That I wouldn't say insanity. I think it was just a lack of intelligence. And
I would say he definitely needs. He needs a broader spectrum of what's actually out there, and I honestly believe he needs therapy.
there's something wrong
Yeah, I mean this with the best of intentions.
There's something
this
wrong
guy needs a therapist.
with accusing others of pedophilia by watching a shonen anything that has no controversy, that critics aren't like, no one's saying this is bad for you, or oh, women are blah blah blah. It's like, no, this is normal. It's a supernatural anime in an alternate world with heroes and villains fighting each other.
He had a weird upbringing or something else weird that got into his head, and he has no healthy relationship to his sexuality.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what's going on, but we were contemplating half the time why he was thinking this way. So, anyway, guys, let's call it a night. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a while, but hopefully we'll have something there tomorrow, or maybe not Sunday or Monday. That's New Year's Eve. I know I'll be busy, so maybe we'll have time. I don't know, but I got some stuff to do on the weekend.
I'll hide in my room on my birthday.
Oh yeah, freeze it.
Because people are shooting rockets in.
Oh yeah, I know the feeling.
Every year, I don't know. They hate me.
No, to me it's like every month.
Everybody hates my birthday. They keep shooting rockets at me. I don't know why.
When's your birthday?
The rocket day.
The rocket day, the celebration of
Do you realize how little that there to do?
Yeah, dude, it's the shittiest thing to have your birthday on that day, because it's similar shit to having a birthday on Christmas, because everybody's busy. Nobody has time for your party.
All right. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. We almost went to the 4-hour mark. Holy crap. On this horrific video of just illogic, immaturity, and as I said before, stupidity. So
don't forget the like button.
Sure, if you want to like it, go right ahead.
I usually pops up here, but it's stuck on 2 on my end. I don't believe that. I know more people are hitting that.
Okay, well, thank you so much. We will talk to you soon. Go to bed, have a good one, and we'll hopefully see you before the new year. I don't know. We might. Anyway.
Extra doubt.
Yeah, we're kind of tired right now. We'll find out. Good night.
Good night, everyone, and have a happy